everybody. Good morning, or good afternoon, or good evening, depending on what time it is for you, where you are. Hello, I'm back. Welcome back to me. Welcome back to you. Let's play a little World of Warcraft hardcore bonus stream later. So let me give a couple of speeches. Maybe we can give some speeches while we run Freehold so that we can get our instance cap lockout rolling. So we're gonna take her to Freehold, breaking out the Murloc onesie. We're getting real cozy today. So first of all, thank you for your patience with my absence. I did not stream yesterday, which is normally a streaming day. Originally, the reason why I was meant to not stream yesterday was because I had a dentist appointment. I was gonna go to the dentist, and they were gonna fill in my cavity and grind off a thing, and it was gonna be a grand old time. Unfortunately, I'm sick. I'm so sick. I got a cold or something. And I started to feel kind of rough on like Sunday night, and then Monday I was like, uh-oh, and then Tuesday I was like, nope, we can't, no one is allowed near my mouth. So I moved my dentist appointment. But then also, I just took yesterday as a sick day because I was in no shape to talk to anybody. To be quite honest, hang on, Freehold. To be quite honest, I'm not really in any shape to talk to anybody today, but I've been away from string long enough. We can limp through one of these bad boys. Let's go to Freehold. Oh, have some vitamin C fizzy drinks. We got some hot tea. I got some coffee. I don't know if that's recommended, but it's happening. We're keeping warm in the Murloc onesie. We're doing all this stuff. So originally, today is a very exciting special day. Today is solo self-found coming out later in the afternoon around 3 o'clock. And I had this like great idea where I was going to set up like a sub goal in the morning mount run stream, because I figure, morning stream, I do the Freehold runs because we got to get those done this week. And plus, if the mount drops, then mount drops. And I was going to set up a sub goal, which I did not do, but I was going to set one up that was going to be like, listen, if we get blank amount of subs, I'll do an extra stream. And I was going to do like a bonus afternoon stream, like ransomed by bribery, to like go in on solo cell phone because I'm so excited about it. And now I'm kind of thinking that maybe I should not do that because I don't think it would go very well. I slept in like hour-long increments last night. I kept waking myself and my poor partner up just like coughing. I'm no good, and I think that we can do some morning stream, and then Hazel's going back to bed. Didn't realize it's leap day today. You should bathe in the Buckleys. We manifested it or something. We were talking about cough medicine last week. Had that happen to me last week. Wasn't good. Drink some good tea and honey. All thanks. I should be in normal Hazel sickness timeline. I should be nearly done with it. This is like my 4th day of being sick. So normally I'm like over it by now. This is very unusual. But I took a COVID test this morning and I don't have COVID. So I'm just regular old-fashioned sick. Do that, program it for when you're feeling well. That's true, but I feel like the real... Oh, that's kind of cute. I haven't been on that mountain in a while. I feel like the hype moment to go in is like right when it comes out, so... I don't know. If I stream for an hour this morning and I start to feel that Dayquil like really kicking in, then maybe I'll change my mind. Because I want to start my cell phone character on stream. And I want to start my cell phone character today. Maybe I'll just end up doing it tomorrow morning. Although tomorrow is also the 1st of March. And there's new trading post stuff tomorrow. So I got to get that on stream too. There's just a lot going on. Not every illness is COVID. I have yet to, and mind you, knock on wood, and we're thinking positively about this. I, so far, have yet to ever test positively for COVID. What if I'm just magical? What if I'm just immune? I mean, I'm not immune to other stuff, apparently, but, knock on wood. Too much game at once. Speaking of too much game at once, oh, man. Hang on a second. Do you know what's coming? Yeah, I looked at the post. I didn't look at it on stream, but Blizzard posted what it's going to be. There's, like, a pet for the bar reward. There's a very pretty mount that I'm going to have. And then, aside from the mount, I don't know if I'm getting anything, because I'm going to be pretty broke the entire month of March. Yeah, but the fun time to do it is at the first possible moment, you know? I've been fighting something that's not COVID too, but it sure does feel like COVID. One of the benefits of being a hermit is not getting sick. I am often offended on my own behalf by how I managed to get sick even when I haven't, like, been near another human being in, like, ages. I also thought that not getting sick was part of being a hermit. I think that there's some amount of just, like, atmospheric illness that is inescapable, and whenever my immune system takes a hit for whatever reason, it just, like, you know, takes its moment. Okay, so we did not get the mount. I don't know what attempt that was. I didn't see the number. Am I running rarity? Do I have it turned on? My goodness. I do have it turned on. Alright, well. I also want to, on this character, she's got compost. She's her fertilizer is finished composting in her pockets. Oh, kitty, I got you. Got word when I saw he was a human, thought you had sworn off gnomes, then I realized you're an Argent Tournament NPC. Yeah, I think I'm Confessor Paletris. I used a Transmorpher beacon in Raid last night, so I'm still just wearing that. That's all. Believe me, if I race changed, we would we would have a conversation. That would be a talk. Compost can be a later me thing. Let's go do another Freehold thing. Miss when everyone was wearing masks, yeah. Yeah, some people still do. I see them around sometimes. Oh yeah, speaking of too many games. So you know how I was like really enjoying the Hearthstone Battleground season, super excited for SSF coming out. I had just picked up Elden Ring and started that. And I'm like, man, I've got a lot of games right now. This is a great situation to be in, especially when you're like, you know, feeling under the weather and you want to just like post up at home on your couch and play a bunch of games. You know, man, I'm really having a hard time leading up to the punchline. But the punchline is that despite having way too many games to start or to play, I started another one. I don't know when I'm gonna play the rest of them, but I started Baldur's Gate. I finally did it. I talked myself into it. A friend bought it for me, which helped a lot. It was very nice of them. And I've been trying to learn that. There's a big learning curve if you're not super familiar with D&D, which I'm not. I played like a variant of it 10, 15 years ago, and I learned nothing. So I am useless with how it works. So I'm still kind of crawling my way, scraping my way through the learning curve. Let us know how you find the correct thing to do when there are too many games. It's cool. It's very different from other games that I play. It takes me a very long time to do anything, but I think that's kind of how it's supposed to work. I've actually been enjoying getting to know the characters. I think the reason that I'm enjoying the story more in this game is it's more driven by like normal people near me. I tend to tune out when game lore is all like the Floofenstone needs to be rescued from the cave of Morkenpork because, you know, otherwise the sky aliens are going to, you know, like, when it's all very, like, atmospheric and, like, too big, I end up being like, well, what does this have to do with my character? Get somebody else to do it. Whereas the smaller stories that are like, you know, your buddy that you met on the road is trying to eat you when you go to bed at night. That's a little more personal. That's fun, you know? Start my clinical rotations in the hospital this fall. Fully plan on wearing a mask. I don't know why providers didn't before being in people's mouths. Yeah, for sure. The good news is it's a lot easier for someone who's never played it before. Yeah. Let's see, any luck? No? Okie dokie. I wonder if I'm in combat with something and that's why I'm not seeing the rarity pop up, or... I updated my add-ons today. That buddy. Hey, no spoiler. Some people might not have played it yet. Are you gonna do a romance? I wanted to, but like the people that I'm adventuring with so far, bless them, they're not my type. No one has like jumped out at me as being particularly good for my character. So right now, my character's favorite move is just to like cross her arms and glare at people while they're saying stupid things to me. Give it time. Yeah, I guess so. I am a wood elf ranger. I snipe people from a distance. I summon big ol' ranger companions to run around and fight things for me. I make good berries for anybody that wants them. And I I feel pretty broken. It feels like kind of an overpowered class. I don't know how good the rest of them are. They must be good, but there we go. Another one. Entering outside the comfort zone, I see. She's got pink hair. She's got an undercut. It took me so long to make my character because there are so many hairstyle choices in that game. She looks real cool. I feel that way about WoW. Storylines are so epic now, but we started helping people fix a broken cart, get their food ingredients. Sea of Stars has been my jam on Twitch. Cozy turn-based pixel RPG, great for a long flight. Nice. Character creation is the best part. I went into it knowing full well that it was going to take me like hours to get through it, especially when there's like races and then there's like sub races and oh man. I eventually had to just start picking things without understanding all the options because I was looking at them and they were like, well, this one gets this to this and it gets this to this and it's really good at this. And I'm like, I don't know what that means. I haven't played the game yet. So I eventually just picked something, but it's been working well. Borealis did something new and scary in WoW today. What did you do? And anatomy. Yeah, that did take me for a turn. I'm kind of glad that I messed with all of that off stream because I have my game settings currently set to fully show any nudity, and all it's done so far is jump scare the daylights out of me on my loading on like my character creation screen. No one's taken off their clothes yet. Although I did accidentally sell my armor, and then I had to reload a save state where I had not sold all of my armor because I was very confused when I was rendering things. I am going to Borealis. Can't start another game right now. Starting our busy season at work. Lucky to keep up with WoW and Overwatch, working 7 days a week. Yeah. Oh, man. I feel that. Thing I learned that gives me great peace of mind is there are no wrong choices in Baldur's Gate 3. That kind of sounds like there's no wrong choices in life. It feels like... Depends on how you define wrong. I suppose so. It's very overwhelming how much choice there is. Number of times I've reloaded previous saves from selling the wrong things is just embarrassing. I'm fully save scumming my way. Not through like conversation rolls, but through combat for sure. Like I'll save before I get into any kind of combat situation because I don't want to run back super far when I die. Most of the combat has taken me at least 2 tries, if not 3, to get through. There are choices that will prematurely end the game very early. Spent most of last week getting the PvP tune. Today, I decided to respec a disc, queued for a skirmish, did 1 match, and we won. Very nice. All of them are cool no matter what, basically. So my ranger can talk to animals, and I have been just interrogating everything that crawls, swims, or flies that comes within my vicinity. And that's been bringing me a great amount of joy because they're so funny. I can't believe how much voice acting they put in the game that I can just walk up to like a random rat and it can be like, yo, get out, my wife's coming home. And I'm like, excuse me, who put this here? Dungeon difficulty mythic, there we go. So yeah, it's been fun. It does feel very slow though. Like it's not a game that I'll pick up if I'm feeling like kind of tired and flirmy. Like I need to know that I have the energy to sit and focus for like at least 90 minutes before I pick that one up. If I know I'm just gonna like kind of veg on the couch for a half an hour, I'll do a battleground, and then I'll end up doing 3 battlegrounds and do it for 90 minutes anyway. Amount of work put into that game, impressive AF. Yesterday, completed all the Legion drop mounts. Very nice. Shuffling this week, got DC'd 3 times yesterday, tanked my rating. Oh, that really sucks. I'm sorry. So frustrating. Yeah, it's no good at all. Oh, I forgot I had a cute transmog on this character too. She also, it's not quite as cute as the one I had on my druid, but she's also wearing a variant of like the black wings and the mini skirt. I can't believe today is SSF day and I'm plagued. I'm not gonna make it. Flirmy is a proprietary word that indicates that you are not feeling up to getting up and functioning, so you flop onto some kind of a couch-related surface and complain. It can be described as feeling flirm, being flirm, I am flirm, my name is flirm, je m'appelle flirm, etc. No luck. No luck. Inventing words is fun. I don't remember when that one came into being. I've used that one for a long time. I'm sure I picked it up from somebody. It is a slightly more lazy version of Boo Boo Bear, which is when you are feeling whiny and also just generally bad. Like you might feel sick, or maybe you're just like in a really bad mood, and you know you're just not doing great, and you know, how are you doing? You go, Boo Boo Bear. I am Boo Boo Bear. Didn't know you spoke French. Ah, yes. My litany of French vocabulary. Pardon me. Alright. Are these everyone words or Hazel words? I mean, it's just a matter of time, right? Sorry, didn't mean to slurp. Can confirm correct French. I estimate that I'm approximately 8 to 16 months away from having another Duolingo phase where I decide to pick up French again. I don't know what's going to motivate this, which is why I don't know how long it is in my future, but I feel like when I have another Duolingo phase, it'll be French. And then I will spend approximately a year awkwardly sprinkling in poorly pronounced French phrases onto my stream in an effort to seem cultured and worldly before I get embarrassed and stop forever. Someone currently in Holland, it sounds to me like people are constantly inventing words around me. Or maybe they're just speaking Dutch. Reject French, embrace Korean again. Yeah, I feel like, yeah, there's that. French is mildly, like, I don't need French to live where I live, clearly, because I speak very little French. I speak basically no French, and I get by just fine. But I am more likely to encounter a French speaker here than I am to encounter a Korean. Well, I'm more likely to encounter a French speaker that I end up speaking with. There's somebody that goes to the same dog park that I sometimes go to. And she speaks French. Fully approve of the French Duolingo phase. I go through Duolingo phases, but that bird is so mean. Didn't mean to slurp, did mean to flirp. Well, come on now. Flurp isn't a word. Flurm. F-L-U-R-M. Keep up, everybody. Learning little bits of Korean from my friend's mom so we can tease them together. Oh, that's cute. That's really cute. Had French for 6 years in school. Can't speak it at all. Quebec French is Quebec French is to France French as Australian English is to British English. You know, it's marginally the same language. There's going to be a lot of differences. I couldn't tell you a single one of what they are. I just know that they are different while still being presumably understandable to each other. I am leaving this instance, that's right. New Trader's Tender stuff is announced? Yeah! What do you guys like from it? I'm getting the mount for sure. And then I feel like there's some nice transmog, but I might just save my tender outside of getting the mount. Accent's massively different. I can understand Quebecois, sometimes sounds a bit archaic to me. Elite 13. Lily, thank you for the 25-month resub. Appreciate it. Yeah, they gave up on French, could not understand each other at all. I sometimes feel that way when I'm listening to somebody that has a very strong Australian accent. I feel as though they have left the plane of English that I understand and they have moved on into their own magical world, presumably populated by like coconut spiders and koala bears and, you know, starbies. And they've gone where I cannot follow them. That's why words are all completely different too. Still not March, is it? One more day. One more day. Our French versus French, mainly different verbally with the accent. Words are supposed to be the same. Battle Pet Survivor for the month, definitely finishing. Yeah, it's a cute pet. It's a cute pet for sure. Okay, I am actually not super far from Freehold, so we can just pop on over. That'll be good. When they really start mucking about. One of my favorite phrases from Aussies. Oh, gherkin slice. Thank you for the 39-month resub. Rarely struggle with various English accents. Probably because I've been taught English formally, not through toddler osmosis. Yeah. The English accents that are most difficult for me to understand, I would say, are probably like a heavy Scottish accent, or like the super Eastern Canada Maritimes, which is kind of like the Canadian version of that. Those can be difficult for me sometimes, but I'll listen to them anyway. They sound wonderful. I just assume that nobody needs anything from me. I knew an Australian girl in high school that no one could understand at first. Dexter, thank you for the 17-month resub. But I need subtitles for people speaking like my own accent on TV, so I'm not a good example. Why don't you dragon ride? Because I forgot. I didn't think about it at the time, and now I'm already there. Didn't pick up my mom's... Oh, you're glad you didn't pick up your mom's strong Texan accent. Let's see. We're gonna... Dungeon difficulty mythic. Very good. Y'all should be pleased I didn't pick up the local accent in Pittsburgh. What's wrong with the local accent in Pittsburgh? Need subtitles magically. It makes me hear better. Yeah. I just can't handle so many TV shows. And I guess I've also gotten used to it too. Like, I've watched TV this way for so long that I've kind of like not lost my ability to watch it without subtitles. Like, I can still go to a movie and they won't have subtitles and I'll follow what's going on. But I'm just accepted that anytime anybody's like speaking softly or mumbling or like speaking underneath atmospheric sound, that I'm going to miss a bunch of what they're saying. You mean you don't call everyone John? Okie dokie. I'm just gonna stay in cat form. This is all good. This is okay. We can sneaky sneak. I wonder how long... I mean, I know I'm gonna hit an instance lockout cap. Instance lockout cap. That's the right order of words. I haven't played WoW in a minute. I played a little bit last night because it was raid night. I almost forgot. I'd like completely forgotten. I was all off schedule because it was Wednesday, but I didn't stream, so I kind of forgot that it was Wednesday. And also, we've been like kind of done raiding, but not really done raiding for a really long time. Wednesday's normally a raid night, but like we're so late in the tier now that my brain just kind of decided that it was over, even though we had one more night. And last night was our last night of raiding. So anyway, it was pouring rain all day. And partner and I had gone out with the dog to take Moose and run around with him and see if we could really wear him out and get him some exercise and play with him. And we ended up like playing with him in the mud and running around, and it was a lot of fun because nobody else was crazy enough to take their dog to this field like when it was muddy because it was pouring rain. I was all bundled up. And anyway, we get the dog home. We're like, you must have a bath. This was ordained from the moment we decided to set foot in that field. So, you know, we give the dog a bath, and then we're just kind of like getting him toweled off, and then all of a sudden my partner's like, yo, it's raid time. So I was a little late, although I think a lot of people were a little late. It was the last raid, thank goodness. Our poor warrior did not get his legendary. What do you do? I feel like there was more to this story aside from me just being kind of late to raid, and like I was wearing like a really wet shirt because I was going to change after I finished bathing the dog because you get kind of soaked giving the dog a bath. But I didn't have time because it turned out that it was just like time to raid. I want to get it for sure next week now. If he gets into a heroic frat kill, our guild wrapped up for the time. I don't know what happened to him last week. He missed last week's clear. Yeah. Good for your partner looking at the raid night schedule. Yeah, I would have 100% forgotten. I would have been, and like one of our raiders did forget. So it's not, I'm not the only one that was having a hard time with it, but I would have very much forgotten. Well, now it's over. Oh yeah, that's right. That was the last time I played WoW. I just logged on to do raid. Aside from that, I haven't been on WoW at all. Pour one out for the weaponless warrior homie. Is next season 2 weeks away? I don't think we know when the next season is. I would say more than 2 weeks. Because they'll do announcements and stuff. Guild's doing achievements this week, then I think we're done. Nice. Now, it's just bad luck protection that means that he would be very likely to get it very soon. But I don't know how much of season 4 we're gonna do, so I don't know how important it was to this player that they get it after all. I think they wanted it, but I don't know if they wanted it like direly. Dungeon difficulty, yeah, good. Yeah, we're good. We're only 5 instances in. Guild's still chipping away at Mythic, doing heroic farms. Haven't felt like raiding lately. Yeah, that's fair. It's if it was, I like hanging out with the guild, but I do tend to hit a point in the raid tier where I'm like, I would like to stop raiding until next tier. But I know because I decided to play a healer, it's not mandatory. Like don't get me wrong, they could totally do it without me. I am not like some mandatory cog in the machine without which everybody just can't carry on. That's not what's going on. As much as I do love to be a diva. But, you know, I'm a healer, and it's gonna make people kind of scramble, and, you know, somebody that wanted a DPS might have to, like, switch to heals. Like, it's an inconvenience on the rest of them if they're still raiding and I don't show up, so I try to make a point to, for as long as the group is going, to miss as few of them as possible. I'm glad we're done now. We can take a little break before Season 4. And I bet you we're gonna do Season 4. I hope that there's, like, a cool amount, like we had the Slime Cat last time. I hope we raid and we get that, and then we just take a break until the next expansion. War with it. On Mythic Tendril. That fight slaps so hard, as the kids say. Got a few minutes before I start. How was your weekend? Hey, Britt. It was alright. I didn't end up going to the dentist. I got sick. I'm still sick. Achoo. But I rescheduled, and I've been just, like, slurping tea and feeling sorry for myself. It's going great. It's been fine. Thanks for asking. Oh. Also, my rescheduled dentist appointment is not over stream time, so I don't have to cancel another stream. Are you playing HCSF? Oh, you betcha. I want to play today, and I don't know if I'm going to be awake, but I might, but I shouldn't, but I might, but I shouldn't. You know what I mean? It's like, I really should go back to bed. I barely slept last night. We're not doing so hot. I need sleep, but Self-Found is coming out. I'm a grown-up. I'm an adult. I know how to make responsible choices. We are all just cogs in the machine after all. Secret second stream today. At the beginning of the stream, I was talking about how my original plan was to set up a sub goal for the second stream, to see if I could get anybody to bribe me into doing it. But I think I've decided that would be unethical given my condition. I do need to set up some sub goals though, because taking that much time off has given our sub total a hit. I don't know if I like this version of me where I look at how many subs I have. Sub goal would be 1 million. I don't know. I really want to play SSF, and I don't really want to do it without you guys. Manager Kira votes for bed. Manager Kira's sleeping on my lap right now. Poor girl. I think I kept everybody awake last night. Just no fun. No good. Oh, yesterday I did that thing where you look at houses in really remote locations that you would never move to, but they're cheaper than the houses around where you live. And if I just moved to, like, a very remote and somewhat frigid place in inland BC, I could afford, like, 7 acres and a lovely little house. It has a 30-foot by 18-foot greenhouse. Now, would I be incredibly far away from, like, airports, my family, habitable weather during the winter time? Sure. But a greenhouse. Get me awake and I'm on the other side of the world. Oh, I'm so sorry. All for being unethical. I mean, it's not like I'm... This is the one job that you can kind of still do when you're sick to some extent. I've got one of my lights off, so I'm not getting a headache, more so than usual. I'm loaded up on Dayquil. Now, is the light off because it disconnected and wouldn't reconnect without a restart? Sure. Is my equipment misbehaving because I haven't streamed in 3 days? Maybe. Do I look gorgeous in this transmog or what? Yeah, that's my Warlock onesie. I'm in ultimate cozy mode today. Just adds a clench factor for the game that we normally never feel. Leveling my BM in Shadowlands. Stupidly forgot to cap my XP. Got yeeted last night. Oh, I'm sorry. You might be the first person I've ever heard that was upset to leave Shadowlands. I think that's a brand new occurrence to me.
Watch your feet.
Hey, Mom. Oh, I'm so not your mom. And that is for the best of everybody. But hey, Cash, I'm alright. How you doing?
Watch your feet. Watch your feet.
Fine, I guess. I rewatched Juno last night. I wanted a cute, comfy movie, and I put that one on, and it was everything I remembered it being. It's got such a good soundtrack. I'm such a sucker for dorky 2010s indie music. Shadowlands is legit my favorite X-Pack. Don't at me. Oh, I would never. Back to BG3. Are you keeping that for your own time? Are you gonna stream some of it? I hadn't like made a pact one way or the other to like stream or not stream it. I'm open to streaming it, but like there wouldn't be a lot of continuity in the story that you'd be watching, and I think backseating might be like any amount of backseating might tilt me, because I get tilted anyways just because I'm frustrated that I don't understand things, but I need to figure them out for myself. Like if somebody tells something to me, then I'm gonna be like just twisted all the way back around until I'm like one of those spoons, the forks that Alakazam holds. So I don't know. I wouldn't hold your breath for it. Do you know such a classic? Watch that a bunch of times. The real question is, who will you be romancing? I was telling them earlier, I don't think anyone's my type. Listen, so I know there's probably more characters that I haven't met. And like, I understand that, because my partner's playing it too, so we've been kind of like watching each other's play through, and he's got like some characters that I don't have, and vice versa. The people that I've met, and don't hate me for my assessments of them, but I've met Shadowheart, and she and I are not getting along so well. I don't really relate to her. She's cute, but like, not for me. I have Lae'zel, and I'm Hazel, and that's stupid. we can't have rhyming names. I appreciate her energy, but she's and I appreciate having her in combat because she's sick in combat, but like, she said that my nose was huge, and that really hurt my feelings. Who else do I have? I have Gale the Wizard, and he's just like a dude. He's just like there. He's funny and whatever, but like, there's no sparks there. I have Asterion, who has been snacking on me, but I really don't think that I'm what he really wants to snack on, if you know what I mean. I don't think that one's meant to be. I romanced Gale. It was magical because he's a wizard. And then who else? I don't think that Withers and I are gonna work out. Is that all I have? Yeah, I think those are the people, because I've been using Asterion, Gale, and then Lae'zel as my 3 other party members for combat, and then Shadowheart sits in my camp and pouts. So I know there's more characters that I don't have. I don't know if I'm gonna find them at this point, but none of them have been working out for me. Let's see. Oh yeah, Bastion. Who have you met, and what would you say your type is? I feel like I would know my type when I see it, which is really not a helpful thing to say. But it's one of those things, you know, like you know it when you see it, and when you know when you're not looking at it, kind of thing. A good friend of mine looks exactly like Shadowheart IRL, same bangs and everything, so that's her new nickname. Okay. So, coffee's done. Time for tea. I love Will. Yeah, I need to meet more characters, because maybe more of them are more my style. Remember the first rule of improv: say yes and. I think that means something different these days. Halsin might do it. Halsin had the bad luck to get himself like into big trouble in a place that I'm not really feeling brave enough to go yet, so he's just gonna have to wait. If he wanted to, you know, get with this, he shouldn't have gotten himself kidnapped by goblins. We are gonna see. Oh. Good luck, guys. Also, Halston stand. Love Will. Goblin can't BBQ. I play sorcerer. Refused any and all advances romances in BG3. That might be where I end up. And I feel like I would be on one level missing out because of the extra like cutscenes and getting to know a character and stuff. But on the other hand, you know, nothing says you gotta fall in love to live a meaningful life. Am I right? Well, depends on your point of view, I suppose. Wow, I got a lot of dice in my bags. Imagine that. I'm excited for self-out. Thanks for the guide, especially for her upgrade. Been incredibly helpful for my guild and myself. Oh, shucks. I'm glad they worked for ya. Oh, my whole camp is whiny about it. They're all just like scorned. Is chat energizing you to jump into SSF? A little bit. You know, what if we just play for like just a smidge later, you know? Just a bit. You gonna play Warlock? I'm gonna do Hunter this time because just to shake it up, I spent so much time on Warlock last time. And I did spend a bunch of time on Hunter as well, but I liked both of them a lot. So I think it would be really fun to try a Hunter and see how far I can get. We're better than any medicine. Oh. Okay, we're good. We're good. All I know about the party in BG3 is nobody likes Gale. Oh, I feel like somebody must like Gale. He's funny. He's affable is how I would describe Gale. There's nothing wrong with him. One thing I've noticed, actually, about all of the characters, NPCs and everybody, is that unless you are an actual swamp hag, everybody's kind of hot. Like, I think it's the hairstyles. Everybody's hair is, like, snatched. Like, everybody is, like, looking a little Instagram ready. Like, there's the goblins are hot, the halflings are hot, the orcs, maybe not the red caps. But, like, everybody that has, like, a player character hairstyle, they all look like they are just working it. When have I ever been concerned about whether or not something is still a thing? We live in our own little weird millennial time bubble, alright? Lae'zel becomes such a Gale supporter. Does she really? Because right now, my girl Lae'zel is not so keen on him or anybody. Feel a bit silly, didn't know you could skip to the final boss here. It's one of the easier mount runs to do because you can mount up in the instance. I do clear a little bit of trash before the bridges because they can snap you back. 215 attempts. Where's my mount? I want to talk about my biggest mystery that I've discovered so far, but I don't want anybody to spoil it for me, so I think I'm going to keep it to myself just in case. Other hand, I thought everybody's kind of ugly. Eye of the beholder, maybe. BG3 has looks maxing? You know what the word looks maxing makes me feel like? Is there were these like little lip balms called lip smackers. And I feel like at some point someone spelled that with a bunch of X's. And I used to get them in my stocking when I was like a little kid. And that's what that word makes me think of, is just like glittery, fake fruit smelling lip balms. Looks maxing, lip smacking, etc., etc. This is, you know, potato. Are there beholders? Not that I've seen. Dude, I've wandered into a spider cave in Baldur's Gate 3 for no reason. No reason. Nothing was like, oh, hey, you should really go look around in here. I was just like poking around and I found a cave and I was like, wow, looks dangerous. Everybody, let's go. Popularity was based on how many lip smackers you had in your lip smacker necklace when I was a kid. Watch a guy that sometimes streams it. Major channel shtick is that he almost never reads chat. Oh, man. On one hand, that's brilliant, but on the other hand, I feel like you have to be a very special kind of streamer to get away with that. I think that without chat, I am nothing. Did you know that beholders are a thing in D&D? Learned very late in life. I didn't, but D&D is one of those worlds that I haven't spent very much time in, but because of how, like, many, I don't want to say tropes, but, like, how many classic examples of fantasy things that it uses, it all feels very familiar. Even if you've, like, never experimented with it before, it draws so heavily on things that you see in so many other places that you're like, oh yeah, you know, that's an elf, that's a goblin, that's an orc. Here's a sword, here's an axe, bada bing, bada boom. You know, it's a lot of it feels very familiar. I think also I've experienced a lot of the stuff sort of tangentially in that, one, I did watch the new Dungeons & Dragons movie. It's very good. Secondly, I've watched Stranger Things, which sort of tangentially takes inspiration because, like, the original monsters were, like, D&D monsters. There's some amount of crossover there. Not, like, a lot, but something. And then, you know, you read Tolkien and you've seen it all. You could continuously acknowledge and talk to chat, but aggressively don't read it. I feel like that was well, I guess I wasn't really acknowledging or talking to anybody. In my Mage Tower era, I just turned off my chat window so I could not see it. I don't know how those streams went, or if anybody enjoyed them, because I wasn't reading. Found a lot of D&D-esque stuff in WoW Classic when I was leveling in that. Yeah, it's all very, I was gonna say incestuous, but that's kind of an aggressive word for what we're talking about here. Hyper-focused anyway and being the thing. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, maybe if I ever did turn on BG3, I would just minimize my own chat. Trust the mods. Believe in the dream. Any luck? No luck? Okie dokie. How's our incidence cap going? 9 to 24. So we're almost about to hit lockout. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do some other stuff for a little bit. Starting with I got some fertilizing to do. Yeah. Fertilizing. I was so excited about the owlbear form WoW because of the D&D movie. Oh yeah. Like, I bet going through this door may lead to an ambush, but I'm gonna do it anyways. Chat screams that it's an ambush. I think that I would get a lot of people very frustrated with me because I would be like, man, I wonder if this thing's gonna work. And it's like a very basic mechanic that I just don't understand, and people would be trying to explain it to me, and I would be not looking at chat, just being like, oh, nope, that didn't work. I'm dead now. Whoops-a-daisy-do. How come I'm still on fire? Meanwhile, standing in the fire. But, you know, what if that's part of the magic? Alright, fertilizing. Drake Rest, thank you for the 7-month reset. That's how you play D&D. If I've learned anything, it's that I would be useless in actual pen and paper D&D because I wouldn't be able to save scum. And I would need to actually understand what my options are. The only reason I know anything about what my options are in a given situation in Baldur's Gate is because I can take like 25 minutes to click around a room and be like, huh, all right, it lets me target this thing. I guess I could shoot down this light fixture. Etc., etc., etc. The fire is warm and my feet are cold. Hazel, as a longtime lurker, hope you're doing well. How hard would it be for me to gear up any character I've been offline for almost a year? Wouldn't be too bad. Wouldn't be too bad at all. I would say 2 weeks. 2 weeks worth of lockouts, maybe 3 to get it caught up to like a pretty strong and reasonable level. Depending on what kind of content that you want to do. But you're not going to be... The catch-up is quite decent these days. You can get gear from lots of places and you can upgrade it. Oh yeah. Sometimes I like looking around to see if I can find a Horde character to see if they need this Raven. But I think that Lightbringer must be very Alliance heavy because I mainly see Alliance players whenever I'm just like looking around. Emerald Dream. It is. big bias tally. I managed to give one of them to Flabby, and I managed to give one of them to a High Mountain Torrent that was crafting the alchemy table. And I haven't found any other ord yet. I'll just carry it around. Duh, famous streamers on Alliance. I occasionally have had the incredibly narcissistic thought that I wonder if Lightbringer is such a pet collecting server because I've publicly been on Lightbringer for so long, and I was, before I became whatever this is, I was the pet girl. That was my thing. Alright, spreading completed fertilizer. This mount is going to take me like a whole year to get at the rate that I check on it. Nothing like fertilizer that you've been composting in your pockets. Hello? Entertain the plant with a few words. Oh yes. Let's go for poetry. I feel like I did some kind of science experiment for like a lab project when I was in school that was about growing plants and talking to one of them, and I hypothesized that giving off carbon dioxide via speech in close proximity to a plant was actually helping fuel its growth. But I don't remember if I actually had conclusive results. I must not have. It's a bit of a strange thing. Composting in your pocket would keep you warm. How many 70s do you have? 17. 17. Okay, I think we're just waiting for stuff to happen now on the plant front. I think we'll pick up another quest some other time. More importantly, what did you tell the plant? I think I used to read like my homework to it. I think I had like poetry that I would like have to memorize for English class or something, and I think I would recite that poem to it. You could try being nice to one and mean to another. What am I doing now? I need to do something that's going to take up some time. Oh, it's another week. I haven't done any weekly stuff yet. I need to do the big dig, which it's not really dig time, but I could do some weekly stuff to kill a little bit of time here, because I'm just trying to like wait until my instance cap opens up and I can do some more freeholds. But I need to... Oh, hey, Plumber got an update. That's kind of cool. Plant some seeds. Do the big dig for my weekly fragment dump. Probably do a time rift for some more of those. I think that I still need more fragments for transmog, specifically like the Jingoist sets. Archaeology, bag organizing. I know they're a little ugly right now. I have 8 tokens of merit on me for no reason. I don't even think she wants sockets. I think I'm just gonna get 8k gold. This way. What if I customize my SOD character, or not my SOD character, pardon me, my SSF character, or just SF, my self-found character in advance? I still need to figure out exactly what I'm doing. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a troll hunter, and that troll hunter is going to do leatherworking and skinning, and I'm just going to do that and try my best and see how it works out. Pardon me. I think that's what I'm going to do, but what if I need to stare at the character creation screen for like 45 minutes to make sure that that's what I want? You could reorder them in alphabetical order. I drag my characters around on my regular screen for like all kinds of reasons. Sometimes I group them up by class. Sometimes I group them up by like order of what I'm doing a thing in. Sometimes I do it by item level. I just kind of drag them all around. Shall we do Aura Store? I think that there's still transmog that I need from him. Yeah, there's cloth shoes I don't have. Yeah, Saga, I think you'll be totally fine in LFR. That is, I think, stop number 1 for people that are new to healing. I think you'll do just fine. I can't promise you that nobody will say anything, because LFR is sometimes home to people that will say stuff that is really unnecessary. But I can promise you that it's not about you.
Charging. Move.
They've reworked this to the point where there's like half the buttons involved now. I really hope they make some big improvements to the character select screen and more within and warbands and stuff. I think they will. Bless you. Bless you. You're having a sneezer. You good? The problem with sneezing in your litter box is you're just going to inhale more dust. Oh, I stopped looking. Also, I didn't join a group for this. Are we 3-manning this boss or what? This is not what I intended to do, but it is what's happening now.
Charging, move.
Tea good? I've had so much of this stuff. This is the honey lemon ginseng. It's just like the Tetley one from the little can, but this is my go-to whenever I'm not feeling well. I've had so much of it over the last 3 days.
Jumping.
I'm almost sick of it, but not quite. Almost. This is a rare and tricky form of healing where you are healing a world boss that you are not in group for. So you just try to help people based on their nameplates. This is not a good idea. I should have joined a group. It's kind of fun though. Good thing you're keeping hydrated.
Charging, move.
Yeah, that's good. I made chili. Oh, I did something embarrassing. If I tell you guys something, will you promise not to make fun of me? I trust like 3/4 of you to not give me a hard time for this. We promise. Pinky swear.
Keep jumping.
It depends on what it is. When do we ever make fun of you? Okay, so I am somebody who knows this is a bit silly because I own a cutting board and knives. I sharpen my knives. I have all right knife skills. I'm not like a chef, but like I watched one once in a YouTube video, so now I feel like I'm doing okay, right? So I don't really have a great excuse for this. But I got talked into because I saw it on TV and then I was feeling particularly squishy and vulnerable. And I ordered a vegetable chopper, which is basically, I'm sure some of you have seen these. It's like a modern version of a slap chop. It's got like these grid blades that you can push stuff through to like chop them into, chop things into even cubes. And then there's like a reservoir underneath where it holds things. This is a device that I did not need, that I was like, you know what? I want to try it. I want to play. It looks like fun. And it's got like a mandolin attachment and stuff. So I got one of those. I have one. It's great for onions. I used it last night for the first time, and it did a magical job. It was so much faster than me, and it made them into so much more even pieces. Like, I chop onions all the time because they're the base of my chili. They're the base of my curry. I put them onto sandwiches. It's probably the vegetable that I chop up more than anything else is onions. So, like, I do a reasonable job at it. I don't take super long. I have some amount of experience in this category. But it was just so fast, and I was like, oh, wait, I need to chop up a pepper. I'm going to put that on there, too. It was fun. You know, it absolutely was fun. I'm enjoying it. It was worth the $30 for me. Those things are actually pretty cool. Don't tell me the embarrassing thing is you brought something small and practical if a little unnecessary. I don't know. I feel like I'm waiting to catch some heat for it. Jeff's got something to say. I can feel it. Good for my bad ADHD weeks when I can find the energy to really prep food. Yeah, I struggle with getting enough vegetables, and like especially when there's a lot of like prep work and shopping. So I'm excited to you know, I'm a big fan of novelty in the kitchen. Like that tends to get me to actually like make things. So any novel way of like prepping or cooking food. But I put together this chili in the Instant Pot. I'm such a gadget girl. I put together this chili in the Instant Pot so fast because of how quick it was to do those veggies. Because that's usually the part that takes the longest. The rest of it's super easy. And it was really good. I got my slap chopper over here. New kitchen tools are always fun. Use it for when I'm making a big pot of soup or something. So much more efficient. Yeah. Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. I'm happy. I want to make a bunch of apples into a bunch of pieces and then do some kind of like a baked apple crisp situation. It's a lot of pressure that you have to perform now. Yeah, not even sponsored. Not even sponsored. Although I'm not above that. Think I'll buy one whenever I move to my own place. Strangest things lead to more common injuries: slicing bagels, washing glass dishes. This thing does have a ton of warnings on it to be giga careful because it's got very sharp blades. There's a mandolin situation, and a lot of reviews that talk about people that are like, please be careful. This is incredibly sharp and dangerous because it's like knives. Respect the blades, basically. Just because it looks like a cool kitchen toy for kids does not mean that you do not need to respect the blades. So I've been respecting the blades. You could be sponsored by Dayquil today. I think my voice would need to work better for the Dayquil sponsorship. Scared user Instant Pot. I was scared when I first got one, and now I am fearless. I will like pick up the thing and move it while it's pressurized. I use it a lot. It's super, super nice. Makes for great chopped salads. Yeah. Yeah, I'm happy. Why not just run Rise lower keys for a stream instead of Freehold? Because I don't want to use a Quantum Courser and then get the Freehold mount because it's such an easy mount run. The other mounts that it could give me that I'm missing are much harder mount runs to do. And I know I'm not realistically going to get enough Quantum Coursers to like finish all of those mounts, especially when I don't want to stack the Rise keys with like really strong players. I would want to do Rise keys with like the kind of people that are in those pugs anyway. So it just didn't feel like a me thing to do. Instant Pot air fryer combo. It's magical. Appreciate your tendency to read instructions for things. Rare with people shouldn't be. I like reading the instructions because to me that's part of like that excitement hit when you unbox a new thing. Like I'll open up a new device or whatever, like a product, and then I'll take the instruction manual after I finished unboxing, and I'll go take that over to my couch and I'll set myself up on the couch, sometimes with a nice cup of tea, and I'll sit down and then I'll read it. And sometimes it gives you like ideas of different things you could try with it. You know, sometimes it's just safety information, but like sometimes there's fun typos. I don't know. I'm not packing a shipment of goods. I kind of want a super bloom. Oh, I forgot. This mount flies. It doesn't fly very fast, but it flies. Let me pick up the super bloom weekly. If we just click long enough. Also, let me pick up the big dig weekly. There we go. There we go. I know that the lady follows the tree around, but I can never find her. Also, I want to turn this one in. Bizarrely enough, I've had an air fryer on 2 separate occasions in my life, and I don't miss it enough to get another one. For whatever reason, that is the one kitchen appliance that everybody loves that just doesn't speak to me. Couldn't tell you why, but that's okay. Any parrots? Not yet. You don't like character boosts? Are you willing to sacrifice one for a science experiment? Tell me about your science experiment, but I will say it brings me a perverse sort of pride to have those unused character boosts on my login screen. I kind of collect them as weird badges of honor, so I'm not highly likely to sacrifice it. It's because you can't make bread in an air fryer. Oh, man. Sometimes I'll set up a bunch of stuff. Like, I'll program some rice for dinner. I'll have bread baking in the bread machine, and then I'll have, like, a curry cooking in the Instant Pot. And I'll just survey my kitchen full of automated appliances that are making me food, and I'll go, I'm a tinker. It brings me a great deal of happiness. How Tom Rainstar flowers. That's a good question. Yeah, the bread machine bread's been going good. I need to whip out a couple of other recipes and shake it up for a change, but I've just been making sourdough. The sourdough's like so good that it's hard to justify making other stuff. There's a kitty cat here. Have you seen? Did you know? Hi. How you doing, Miss Kira? Oh my god, the funniest thing happened with Kira and Moose. So, like, let's set the scene. It's like 10 o'clock. It's getting ready for bedtime. You know, we're brushing teeth, we're flossing teeth. And for context, the bathroom, which is where the teeth brushing happens, is on the Moose side of the place, right? Like, this apartment is being divided by a baby gate. Kira has the bedrooms and, like, my office in the bedroom. And then Moose has the kitchen and the bathroom in the front space. They're still separated because they are only permitted to visit when supervised, because Moose really wants to play with Kira and she is blind and tends to get scared. So that's the situation. And we're brushing teeth. And Miss Kira here used to really like to come to the bathroom when I was brushing my teeth and sit, because then I would brush her teeth. And these days I bring the teeth brushing to her. It's delivery. She still gets her teeth done. But she used to come and sit on the bath mat and wait for me to do her teeth after my teeth were done. And that was like one of her rituals, and she really liked it. The first couple of times that I brushed my teeth after putting the baby gate up, she was like pretty miffed, because she would like try to come to the bathroom and then she would like hit the gate and she'd be like, "Excuse me, why am I in jail?" And I'd be like, "I'm so sorry. It's because there's a big dog shit monster out here." And anyways, time goes on. Moose is doing a lot better than Miss Kira, but she still doesn't really want to have that much to do with him. And he shows varying levels of self-control in not trying to play with her. He's very friendly. He really likes her, and he's getting the hang of it. But he gets excited, and then just the noise of him stomping around really scares her. So anyway, we hadn't been doing too many visits, but like we're brushing our teeth, and Moose has a bed that's also right by the bathroom, and he tends to do the same thing she used to do. Like, he'll come wait for me to brush his teeth after I'm done mine. So he's just like, he's pretty tired. He's had a big day. He's sleeping. He's like laying on his bed, real sleepy, real cozy. And all of a sudden, you see Kitty Cat walk down the hallway and like sit right in front of the gate, which is kind of weird because there's nothing this way that she's done in like a long time. Normally she just turns the corner into this office to come like use her box or whatever, hang out in here. But she like comes right up to the gate and she's kind of like poking around like she wants to come through, and I'm like, "Kitty, do you want to come out here? I guess I'll open the gate." So like I open the gate and she like kind of pokes her head through and figures out that it's open, which I was already impressed by because I can't emphasize this enough. She is blind. She cannot see anything. But she comes through and she steps through the gate and she's like very slowly kind of like stepping and moving her whiskers around and like trying to remap the place. And meanwhile, the dog is like 2 feet in front of her, laying on his bed, watching all of this very intently. And I'm kind of like crouching in front of him with like a hand on his chest to make sure that I can grab him if he does decide to like jump up and jump scare like a Jack in the Box. But anyway, so Miss Kira's just kind of like patting her around, creeping on up to Moose because she's heading straight for him, and he's just sitting there being like, "Guys," and he's like being good. He's laying down. He's not standing up yet, but he's like vibrating. And Miss Kira walks all the way up to him, like sniffs him, and kind of she like hits him with his whiskers, and she sniffs him, and then she goes, "Oh, geez, that's a dog," and she goes, and she like hisses. And then she like turns around, tries to leave, hits the gate, not hits it, but like encounters the gate, and then redirects herself and then like walks away, and we close the gate behind her. But like this whole time Moose was like perfectly still, being like, "Don't move, don't move, don't move, don't move." Because like he knows he's learned at this point he's not supposed to jump on the cat. He knows that he's not supposed to bother the cat basically. But she like walked right up to him and sniffed him, and this whole time he's like, "Guys, she's never done this before. What do I do?" It was so funny. But he did really good. He didn't jump up at all, which I know must have been really hard for him because all he wants is to play. And this whole time he was just looking at us like, what is it? What's she doing? This has never happened before. But it went really good. So I'm hoping that she will remember that nothing bad happened and that she was allowed to leave on her own terms and nobody chased her. And I'm hoping that he will remember that he got a really yummy treat because he did not get up and chase the cat. So he was a really good boy. But it was the funniest thing ever because he's a very expressive dog. He's a very expressive dog, and you could tell it was so hard for him to just like lay there perfectly still while this blind cat moseys on up to him and sniffs his face. Intense impulse control. He did really good. He did so good. Good boy treats. He got some really good boy treats for doing so good. I'm so proud of him. We're surviving our teenage months. He still is having a hard time. He's still kind of pushing boundaries and figuring out that he kind of has to listen even if he doesn't want to. But we're doing good. And he's relating a lot better with other dogs now. When he was a puppy, like a younger puppy, and he was playing with dogs or meeting with dogs, he used to just be like really excited, but like too excited. Like he would miss cues from other dogs that they had had enough, and he would be just very persistent in wanting to play, and he would annoy dogs and kind of get on their bad side. And now that he's older, he does a lot better at not knocking them over. And he recognizes when a dog is maybe smaller or older or arthritic, and he won't like try to wrestle with them the same way. Like he'll play with the dog on their terms, which is very nice. And then, yeah, he's just, he has gained the ability to take his energy from a 12 down to like a 7, which is nice. I was worried for a while, but he's just, he's a baby, big puppy. I do still keep an aquarium, yeah. I've got a 10-gallon aquarium in my living room. I did some maintenance on it yesterday. It doesn't have a betta fish in it right now, although if its current inhabitants all reach the end of their lifespans, I think a betta fish would be the next thing I keep in it. I've got some cherry barbs. Incidentally, speaking of the dog in the aquarium, he leaves the fish alone, but I have to really be careful whenever I'm doing a water change because Moose wants nothing more than to drink aquarium water and eat any aquarium plants that come out of the tank, which I'm pretty sure would all be very bad for him. Like that is upset tummy 101 is do not drink aquarium water. So I have to fend him off. Such an adventure. When he came with us to the lake one time, all he wanted to eat was like lake weeds that were like around and out of the lake, and it's not so good. Got to get to 100 pounds somehow. Oh, he's so clean and fluffy, and he smells so nice right now because of his bath last night. What makes you think he wants to eat the plants? Something about his attempts to eat the plants. You'd know. One-Eye Captain's doing okay? One-Eye Captain is doing alright still. He has outlived several of his friends. There's not as many of them as there once was. They're at I've had them for just about 2 years, coming up on 2 years, and they're we've lost a few of them, but One-Eyed Captain is still kicking. I really thought that I showed up to the Super Bloom late and that it was going to be over with kind of fast, but that's okay. We have yeah, we're starting to catch up on our instance lockout caps now. I don't know why this surprises me knowing his affinity for dirt. They must fertilize the fields around here with like fish emulsion or something, because he's not the only dog that does it. But Moose and his other dog friends will get to the field and just shove their noses in the mud and just start eating it. Like not all the dogs, but many of the dogs do it. But that window is stuck up there. It's like I don't even have a chat window. I can't even reload. Uh-oh. Can I attack anything? Yes, I can still attack. I wonder if I should just, like, hang out. Why can't I reload? That's annoying. Is there a mouse? My mouse still works. Can I reload with my mouse? I wonder if I'm just lagging? Yeah. Yeah, I do want to be able to tag the final boss. I'm thinking because it seems like I can click on things and I can click on Shadow Red Pain, I might just do that for the final boss. It's weird though, I've never had this problem before. Kira, that's absolutely right. That is her name. You spelled it right too. One of the people that we know in the neighborhood was following his dog around to the park being like, don't eat that. Don't eat the mud. Come on, dude. Don't eat that. I didn't say it, but I was going to joke that Don't Eat That is the name of Moose's memoirs. That's like his autobiography title. It's probably the phrase that he's heard more than any other phrase in his young life is, please don't eat that. Stop eating that. Leave it? Nope. Okay, drop it. Yeah, it was Death Note inspired at the time. I was rewatching it when I adopted her. Funny, mine is won't eat that. Oh, there's the boss. There she is. But yeah, Moose after a bath is like a modern miracle. He's so fluffy and his fur gets so soft and it smells really good. And he's real cuddly. And I think he likes being clean. He's a sweet boy. One day we'll have torn down the East Hazelnutty wall and we will have integrated Catland and Dogland, and then we can have Puppy on stream all the time. And Kitty in the kitchen all the time too. Does he enjoy the bath process? Enjoy is a strong word. He very politely tolerates it with only minimal escape attempts. We used to bribe him just by feeding him his dinner while it was doing it, but now he's kind of picky. He doesn't really want to do that anymore. So he had to do it without treats last night. We just kind of made them. But he did good. He didn't really cry. And then he likes it when you tell him. Oh, okay. Yeah, my game is very upset. But we finished the quest, and that's good. I think I need to just kill this whole app and reload it. I think I just have to do that. No, he doesn't say. He didn't even whine. He didn't even squeak. He doesn't really sing or howl at all. He occasionally, when he's feeling really in his feelings, and husky and shepherd owners will kind of know what I mean, Malamute owners, etc. He will occasionally talk, like he'll grumble. But that's he's not really a big like howler, and he's not a super big talker either. He's pretty quiet. He hasn't properly tried swimming. We took him a couple times to the lake, but both times there were these cyanobacteria warnings, like these blue-green algae warnings, and we decided not to let him swim because he was a puppy and I didn't want him to get sick. What time is it? It's 10:19. I'm gonna take a short break. All this talking about my puppy made me miss him. And then when I come back, turn in the quest and, we got more Freehold attempts. It'll be good. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Thank you for your patience. I wouldn't say that Moose never barks, but he rarely barks. He needs to have something really important to say for him to break a bark out. And then he's got a couple different barks depending on if he just wants you to play with him or if he's like concerned about something he thinks is a threat. He's got like a bark and then he's got like a woof. Meow. Kitty, will you sleep on my lap? That would make me feel better. Would you like that? Alrighty, let's see. Let's check on, oh yeah, I was gonna turn in that quest to see if we got any transmog from the Super Bloom, but and then, actually, you know what? The big dig is in like 5 minutes. I might set myself up for that too. And then we'll do some more Freehold runs after that. Nice kitty. Nice kitty, you wanna cuddle? I've got the Murloc lap. I've got the fuzzy fleece. You love fleece. Okay. Doing good? Yeah. Aw, thanks, kitty. Used to call the concerned bark a chuff. That is a accurate onomatopoeia. He finds the funniest times to break out the concerned bark too, because so far in his life nothing has been a genuine threat to him. So usually it's because he's like looked on someone's lawn and he's decided he doesn't like the look of one of their lawn ornaments. Or like, you know, someone's got like it's dusk and there's like a trash bag that's sitting on someone's porch that looks vaguely the shape of a dog. And he's like, I'm not moving. Oh, one time it was one of those fake owls. Someone had like a model owl that used to like scare away birds, and for whatever reason it was just like stuck in the ground in their garden, and he was like, no. I will not walk away from this. The people need to know. It was very funny and highly embarrassing. Oh man. Okay, there we go. Any luck? Nope, alrighty. Lawn ornaments have it coming. Oh yeah, I can loot that thing. Oh wait, and then we got a seed bloom, so we can spend our seed bloom. We're working on getting seed bloom transmog, that's right. I think that I talked myself into it. Hang on a second. Kitty, you gotta stay on my desk though. You can't walk, or you gotta stay on my lap. You can't walk around my desk. It's no good. It doesn't work for anybody. It's just, it's just not very effective. Oh, we got a piece of transmog. I can send those to my hunter to learn. Sounds so much like Finley. His first real "what is that" moment was a Santa on a bicycle lawn Christmas decoration. He outright growled at that one. Oh, that's so cute. Musi did not like one decoration at Christmas time that was Olaf the snowman from Frozen. Not a big fan of that. I think it just jump scared him. Like he just didn't expect to see something on his left when he turned a corner, and then he like looked to his left and he was like, oh my god, that thing's not normally there. I didn't pick this up. Oopsie daisy. I was buying a seed bloom lock, that's right. I found Olaf annoying. Olaf seemed like a character that was very much coded to be funny to small children. And I think that to many small children, he serves that purpose, which is great. I also find him insufferable. If in a mildly charming way. You know, I appreciate the shtick, but like, I don't think he's for me. We're sending, oh, you know what? I can just send it to my evoker. Zelixia. She can take those mail gloves. Proof of Moose's reaction. I saw Frozen like 4 times. Don't remember a thing Olaf did. Well, he liked the idea of summer. And he didn't know what happens to snow in the summertime. He was jazzy. I liked his voice acting. Okay. I was buying up the cloth stuff, I think, is pretty much where we're at. Shall we get some sandals? Maybe a cloak? Oh, some sandals. Jar Jar Binks syndrome. Plans to see Dune Part 2? Yeah, I want to try to find... Well, first of all, I need to become less plagued. And then I want to try and find a quiet time where there won't be many people at the theater. But the problem is I think theaters kind of shut down the quiet time showings because nobody was going to them and it wasn't profitable to keep them open. So I'll just kind of see if I can feel that out. But yeah, I think we're going to go see Dune Part 2. I had the most bizarre, long, intense, like involved and intricate dream in which I had been cast in Dune 2 in the role of Shawnee, which is played by Zendaya. And I was really worried that people were going to be very upset because Zendaya is very famous and well loved, which I agree with. And I didn't think people were going to be very happy that some 32-year-old, and I'm 31, so I don't know why I round up in dreams, that some 32-year-old, you know, lady who can't act had been cast in this role. And then the director was like, no, it's okay. For this character, it's better that you can't act. And then I was like on the press tour. It was very strange. I'm going to log into... Where was it? Crinkle had done her run, I think. Yeah, that's right. Excited to see Fade Harkonnen. Fade Routha. Are you excited? Austin Butler, Fade Routha. Do they do weekday matinees? I don't think they do them anymore. I'd have to check. I would watch Dune 2 if you were in it. That's the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me. Oh man, I am one of these people that cannot act at all. I'm way too self-conscious. I can't do it. I used to want to when I was a little kid, because when I was a kid, I had this thing where I only knew about jobs that were publicly visible. So I thought the only things that you could be in life were like a cashier or a famous actor. I thought those were your options, because all I ever did was like watch TV and movies and see famous actors, or go shopping and see cashiers. So I thought those were your choices. And I was like, well, the actors seem to like make more money. So let's go ahead and do that. And I did like a couple acting classes as like a little kid, but, I did not, I think I let my social anxieties get the better of me. What about you play Shai-Hulud? I think that the animators do that. I can see you being a hardened desert warrior. Yeah, I don't know. I could be an extra. You could probably coach me through being an extra that just stands in the background and looks cranky. Might need some mocap. Man. In the 6 different Dune novels that I read, and not one of them was Shai-Hulud like as big of a problem as I really thought he was gonna be. Don't get me wrong, there's some people that like end up getting eaten by worms, but like I really misunderstood the role. I think at first. Good luck in the shark bait drop. Yeah, that's why I'm here. Thank you very much. We're 200 and something attempts deep. Yeah, I don't think my stage life has big legs. I think that this life works out good for me. This is about the right level of performance for me. It's comfy. It's like a weird cross between like a radio host and the lowest pressure version of stand-up that you can possibly imagine, except that you're not allowed to reuse material too much. Why does the mount drop at this boss when it's not even this boss who's on the bird? I know, right? It's the Ashes of Alar syndrome. I ever tell you, I've mentioned this before, but I used to farm Ashes of Alar, and I used to only kill the first boss because I was like, the phoenix must drop off the phoenix, right? Nope. Die out after like the 3rd book. They like kind of come back later, but like there's the girl that like her family at the beginning gets like chomped, so she's like kind of upset about that. It's like a thing. Yeah, they're not as big of a problem as you think they're gonna be. That happened to me too. Didn't figure it out for a year. I want to be a writer for a living. Difficult not to be discouraged in what I'm writing about, though. That's tough. I would love to be a writer as a hobby, which is a funny thing to say, because it's like, well, if you just want to be a writer as a hobby, then just do it, forehead. Like, why are you talking about wanting to and not actually doing it? It's because it's hard. Yeah, doing it as a hobby seems like the best of all worlds, because you get to be creative, you get to write about whatever you want, but you don't actually have to like take criticism or pander to trends or market or listen to anybody, which all seem like icky parts of writing. Worry about marketability, that kind of thing. Dungeon difficulty, mythic, there we go. Paradoxically hard to find time and energy for hobbies, especially stuff that's like very, I don't know, cogitation heavy like that. Big thinky hobbies. Love to draw, haven't done it for months. Murloc looks charming. Hardest thing about writing is sitting down and writing. Everything else is easy. Do you have a favorite author? That's an excellent question. Do I have a favorite author? I like reading a lot. Right now I'm really into Terry Pratchett, but that's just because I've just discovered Discworld at this ripe age, and I'm currently reading all of them. I just started Witches Abroad. Do I have a favorite book? No, that would be too hard to pick. I don't really have much of a favorite anything. I think that a lot of early conversation topics amongst, you know, students and streamers and stuff is all like, what is your favorite blank? What's your favorite pet? What's your favorite mount? What's your favorite color? What's your favorite blank? And it's difficult. Like, I can pick something and throw it out there just so that I'm not being a big stick in the mud in the conversation. But I don't feel like I really enshrine one thing as like the best food and the best, like this is the finest dessert and this is the best movie or whatever. Like I like lots of things, but it's a lot of pressure to put on something to be like better than all of the other things that you've ever encountered, especially if you've tried a lot of stuff. Yeah, I might read Good Omens afterwards. I think that would be a good next place to go. But I think I have quite a long time before I finish Discworld because there's like a lot of Discworld. Silent6821, thank you for the 4-month resub. Hi Hazel, enjoying your stream from South Africa. Hello, I'm glad to have you here. Who was your favorite viewer? Called Cash, though. Ah, I see. Yeah. I also have horrible cases of recency bias, so I am very likely, if you ever ask me about like what kind of books and shows I like, to just tell you about what I've been watching and or reading like recently. That was half the point behind on my YouTube member paywalled stuff. Like I do kind of a Patreon version that's built into YouTube, and there's different tiers. So like at the basic tier, you just get like emotes for YouTube comments, and that's $2. And at the $5 tier, I do like a blog post. And at first, it was like kind of my recommendations. Now talk about what I've been reading, what I've been watching, that kind like what kind of games I've been playing, that kind of thing, or what I've been doing in games. And I still write about those things in that blog post, but I've kind of evolved it a little bit more broadly to just be like a little mini life blog update. But I usually try to touch on what I've been into. Maybe the one that I put out tomorrow, I'll talk about Easy Bake Battle because that was my favorite show. I have not read Earthsea. Every year I almost buy everything written by Terry Pratchett. What if you just bought one of them? Or like, library, borrow something. That might be good. Because it's a huge library, so like I don't blame you for not wanting to invest in the entire thing all at once. See if you like it. And not everybody will. Not everybody will ever like anything. I like them because they're fun, they're fantasy, and they're good stories. They're like they're good stories. They're fun to read about. And there's always something a little bit different. I like the setting a lot. No luck with that mount run, hey? But we can do some more. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 tries so far, meaning we have another 6 left to go. This girl to my TBR, it's been there since the 90s. Yeah, people say that the Color of Magic is not the best one to start with, even though that's like the supposed starting point. So maybe there's a better place to jump into it. I liked it a lot, but I'm easy. I'm pretty easy. Oh yeah, I decided I was gonna do something. I had changed my mind. Shania Twain told me I'm allowed to. I live my entire life based on what Shania Twain tells me I can and cannot do. One sec. Time is it? 10:30. Where are we at? 7:17. Alright. I have, and it's totally fine if we don't reach this, but for fun, and because I changed my mind and I decided to, I put up a Twitch sub goal. This one is new subs and not total subs, by the way, so the number won't backslide. But if we finish it by the end of the stream today, then I will do a bonus stream this afternoon for SSF. Even if we're a little croaky and hoarse, we can still like get into some PJs and make a character and start for a while. Stream for at least like an hour at least. But if we don't do it, that's okay. We'll find time at some point. Dungeon difficulty mythic. There we go. Yeah, 15 subs. 1-5. That seemed not nothing, but not crazy unreasonable. Yeah, Saga, it might just be not to your taste, which is totally fine. Books are very subjective. What if this is the mount run where it drops? It could be. It could be time. Do you think it would be predatory to do sub goals for variety game streams of other games when I know like specifically who it is that wanted that, and I'm just trying to see if I can part them from their own money to get this stream? It's like 50 subs this week. Or 50 subs within this day, and then we'll stream Subnautica. Highly predatory. MJ Sage, thank you very much for the 8-month resub. I mean, capitalism. Specific viewer targeted capitalism. Most of you are like, we don't care if you play this, and then one person's like, no, the weakness. Basically how most of the streamers I've seen operate. Yeah, it's kind of a tricky landscape. It's hard to figure out what you feel comfortable with and what you don't feel comfortable with. Because on one hand, the little voice inside of you that's like, this isn't a cool thing to do, is usually a good thing to listen to. On the other hand, if it tells you that you can't do most of the things that are associated with being successful in your field, then your options are either turn that voice down a little bit or maybe find a different job. And, I don't know. I think that if everybody with a conscience left streaming, then it would become even more morally bankrupt than it already is. So, maybe that's just how I'm justifying staying and trying to make money to myself. Planeswalker, thank you very much for the brand new Prime sub. I appreciate it. Also, Alice with a 41-month resub. Thank you very, very much. Addicted to Dreamlight Valley lately. Gotta get some more WoW time in. I've heard lots of people really enjoying that one. I'm late, but here. Hello. Hello, Go Placidly. How you been? How are things? I also think that I just spend too much time reading social commentary online, and I get really worked up about, I don't know, ethics and capitalism, which makes it really hard to then work. And perhaps my brain is unknowingly abusing that tactic in order to allow myself to not have to like sit down and focus and do anything hard, because I'm like, oh, you know, you should really be planting turnips in a desert somewhere or something like that. Saga, thank you very much for giving it a gift sub. Also, Big Broad with a 5-month resub. Thank you very much. Don't recommend swallowing your morals. They mess with your tummy. Yeah, I'm sure there's like balance, and there is I'm sure there is balance, and I'm sure there are like compromises. I think the other thing I also need to remember is that people like viewers, audience members, you guys are adults, and that you are, I hope you're adults. you are independent people. You have your own free will and thoughts, and just because I advertise something does not in any way mean that I either expect you to buy it or that you have to buy it. I think that my default mode of thinking does not give you guys enough credit or agency in your own decisions, and that's not cool either. I think that I should be maybe a little bit less afraid of that. And if somebody decides that it's like too much advertising or you know, it's not the kind of content that they're looking for, then they're welcome and free with no hard feelings to, you know, take a break or find something else or what have you. You know, it's your own disposable income. It's your own free time. I would never want anyone to think that I'm pressuring them into anything, but that doesn't mean I should never sell anything. Influencing isn't the same thing as coercing. It's just tricky because like sometimes it feels that way. It's a weird field, but yeah, I need to give you guys a little bit more credit. At least like we're not one of those streams where you like have to be a sub to get spoken to. I know sometimes it might feel that I'm missing messages, but I promise it's not on like a paid by not paid basis. It's usually either based on either A, it's something I do or don't want to talk about, or B, I just miss things anyways. I sometimes just don't see stuff straight up. I serve the Dark Lord Hazel and obey her commands. Aw. Shucks, guys, thanks. Do we have to act like adults? We get to redefine what acting like adults means for us. Everybody gets to make their own choices there. Not putting 100 sub goal saying, feed my dog or he starves. Yeah, that would be a bad thing to do. Yeah, please be advised that no matter how successful or not successful we are, the pets are going to be well taken care of. I will take care of myself. I will not, you know, it's going to be okay. We can still make well-balanced adult choices. I cannot get this mount to drop to save my life. I'm always happy to find more excuses to support you. Aww. Oh, Saga, that's really sweet. If you get a chance, tell him I said thanks. 100 subs or Hazel does. Yeah, I think he would get rightfully banned off of Twitch for that. That is messed up. Regular sub goals for Moose visits. It's bad enough that I have paywalled Moose content on my YouTube members. Did I ever tell you that like a family member once paid for that because I wasn't sending them enough Moose updates, and they were like, oh hey, there's Moose video over here. Sure, okay, I'll pay $10 a month, and I'm like, no, wait, your family, you can have it. It was very funny. I should talk to people more often. All right, he was camping Lord Gerthog, who is not here. Not Gerthog, Lord Helnerath, whatever his name is. It is Helnerath. I know what it is. I'm not gonna pretend like I don't know. Who's Gerthog? Must be somebody. Oh man, this tea is so good. Borealis, that's right. And oh yeah, we're good. We've caught up to Rinston's cap now. Bake them bread as an apology for delayed photos. I have a cousin that sent me a buy me a coffee payment for a newsletter I send. Didn't even know she was subbed. Aww. Trying to get Helnerath too. So far, Warlock's been my least favorite class campaign. Or pie or cake. Oh man. I think I'm on a food handing out moratorium until I've become less germy. But yeah, I gotta get some baking done. I can find ways to chop things and then include them in baking. Apple pie's a big thing out here. It's wonderful. I want to make an apple pie. I actually bought apples. They were like $1.50 a piece. I was horrified. I didn't even get the organic ones, but they look nice. So I think I might make the pie anyway. We're going to Borealis. That's right. Thought you said Guckrock for a minute. Slaughtering the rare multiple servers. Someone else is too. Nah. I missaid Gerthog. Gurthogg. Possibly with an apostrophe, which may or may not be a name I made up. It must be something. I bet I could wowhead it. It's so expensive. Yeah. I mean, yeah. I betcha I could eat more cheaply if I was willing to put a lot more effort into it, and if it was the kind of person that remembered more accurately the stuff that's in my fridge. Because there are probably places and people that you could like get to know that would get you better deals on seasonal stuff, and like you like I buy things on sale and I will like stock up on things on sale so that I can eat them when they're not on sale kind of thing. But I'm not like a super hard couponer or anything. Produce is pretty expensive. Happy nice anniversary. Oh, it's today. Happy anniversary, guys. Pillow fort. Nice. That's wonderful. Warrior, DH, Monk, DK left. Oh man, you're doing it. The Monk one's really fun. It is true that the Monk mount talks to you and gives you a hard time for eating too many mana buns. Okay, where's this? Kitty slept. Kitty fell asleep in my lap. I'm really happy. At some point soon I gotta make sushi bowls because I can chop up the cucumbers with my special food chopper. Maybe I'll chop up the crab chunks too. And by crab I mean imitation crab because it turns out actual crab's highly expensive. I'm still thinking about this real estate listing that I looked at in this place that I will not move to because it's so far away. It's so far away that not only would it be really hard for me to like see my family, but also like if I wanted to like take a plane to BlizzCon, I don't even know how much driving you would have to do before you could get to an airport, but it would be an ugly trip. Although I do know somebody that lives there, and they managed to make it to BlizzCon, so it must be possible. Does she get more affectionate when you're ill? Sometimes I feel like that it's that way, but she's also just very affectionate all the time because she's an absolute angel. Kitty cat is. So, maybe? I think Moosey was worried about me. I think he could hear me coughing last night because he was very, very... I mean, he's always happy to see me when I get up, but he looked worried. And travel time? I'd have to Google Maps the trip, but it's a place that's like in interior BC that's kind of like halfway up the province. This house was so beautiful. This is the try. I can feel it. Could be the one. 17% left on my Vicious Mouse journey. Oh, you got this. Chop my cold smoked salmon in the chopper. It's perfect. Sounds pretty good. Whenever I do like actually like cook for myself and like make food at home, I always am glad that I did. Especially whenever I do like a big batch of something that I then have as like meals for a few more meals. Like I'm always super happy I've done that. It's just not always that I have the spoons to do it, so to speak. Mainland and the island? Yeah. And also like getting from the mainland to even the coast would be like 6+ hours sort of situation. If you were gonna... Here, let me find out. If I wanted to drive from here, let me maps this on this monitor. Directions from Victoria. I'm not moving there, but if I did and I wanted to drive to see my family, you would be looking at an 18-hour and 31-minute drive. Because it's not really a crow flies situation. You'd be looking at an 18-hour and 31-minute drive. This road includes a ferry. Well, yeah. Yeah, so very far away. Which is probably why things are affordable. Yeah. And right now, like, I don't drive places if they're more than, like, 40 minutes away. I am very conservative with how much I drive. Bless Canada. I bet it's beautiful out there in the summertime. I think the thing that's frustrating is that I know that I'm not going to move away from my family again because I've done it before and I know what that's like and I don't want to, you only get so many years in this planet. I want to live them closer to my mom. And I know that. But aside from that, there's not very many things that hold me to this incredibly expensive place. Like, don't get me wrong. I love BC. I love the nature, but there's a lot of nature heavy places in BC that you could live that are a lot cheaper. And I'm not the kind of person that needs a nightlife. I don't need bars. I just need internet and a grocery store and some hikes to walk my dog on. And there's a lot of places that have those that would be like 1/3 of the cost to buy a place. Plus, you know, groceries and whatever. But they're really, really far. And then you have winter. That is true, actually. I think the winters might get me down. I get kind of cranky whenever it takes me so long to bundle up to go outside, and then I have to take all that time to debundle when I get back inside. You do it a bunch of times with the dog. You're telling me you don't go clubbing? Not so much anymore. I had my clubbing era. It lasted for approximately 2 weeks. I think there were 2 weekends, with 1 week in between. I was 19. So legal drinking age. And I saw basically everything I needed to see. I'm good. I forgot the stacked fishing hole. There is gorgeous fishing out there, apparently. It's like a fishing destination. That sounds like enough. Yeah, it was enough for me. I like to spend my money on dumb things. I can save my money. You know, all of that money that I'm not spending on things like drinking and clubbing and smoking and I don't know, eating out. You know, we save that, and then when you want something like an aquarium, you're like set. You got savings for vet bills and cavities, that kind of thing. Dad lives about 10 hours drive away. Don't see him often. Driving 2 hours to see someone is pretty common. I think that if I did it more often, I would get more used to it. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just so spoiled right now because right now I can literally walk in like less than half an hour to visit almost everybody that I know, and it's magical. Because even if the weather's really bad, it doesn't matter. You don't, you know, the roads can be completely frozen over and not plowed, and you can be like, all right, I'm just gonna walk. I'm putting on my boots.
Charging. Move. Watch your step.
Cloud Chaser. Thank you very much for giving out a
Shockwave.
gift. So that puts us at 5 of our 15 gift sub goal for a bonus afternoon stream today. 1/3 of the way there already. My goodness. Unofficial hype train. Hey, I don't know what my life's gonna look like for the rest of it. I don't think anybody does. You might have an idea, and you might be right. You might be not right. Who's to say? Gift subs count? Indeed they do. What if there's a Sharknado? Don't think I could ever love somewhere that's not walkable. I just want to be able to... This is a funny sentence. I want to be able to walk to get to walks. Like, I want to be able to walk to a trail or walk to the beach or just like walk to a place that feels more of like a walk, like a nature walk and less of like a city walk. There are trails and beaches or like a park, like walk to a park. I always used to be able to walk to parks. Every place I lived in Oregon, I was no more than 30 minutes walk from like a park. It might not have been an amazing park, but it would have been like a park that I could walk through. And here, just because I'm right downtown, there are parks and stuff. But they're a little far, and you're walking through a lot of like city, like a lot of downtown noisy intersections, soliciting that kind of thing to get there. So I don't, you know, it would be more like driving to a walk, and I don't like driving to a walk because it feels counterproductive. You'd love where I live then. Yeah, I bet.
Watch your step.
I think that's when I'm start looking for places, I'm going to maybe walk around each area and see like, okay, what are my walks around here? Because that's like a big deal. That's something I do multiple times a day. Can I walk to a trail?
Phase 2.
I would die if I could walk to the beach. Holy moly. Perk to cycling helps get to walks. Because I have the same problem with Montreal. You're so brave for cycling in the city.
Phase 3.
I often think that you would do so much better in my life than I do. Like, if you lived here in Victoria, you would enjoy... I see so many things, and I'm like, Day would love this. This is a really cute cafe. This is a super cool little shop. That club sounds like she would just go in there and make, like, 9 friends and just have a wonderful time. Like, there's so many things around here that I'm like, you would love this. I'm not engaging with any of it, but you would have a great time. I am doing another run. Watching a streamer that was trying to get into the new Twitch Partner Plus program, had to drum up some serious new subs. Gifted and Prime didn't count for that. Yeah. Yeah, I was reading a little bit about that. Difficulty. How's the air quality there? Live in a place where winter inversion pollution gets pretty bad. On the whole, air quality is very good here. Occasionally, in the summertime during wildfire season, you might get some wildfire smoke that drifts through from the interior or from Washington. And if that sets up camp, you can have like pretty bad air for a couple of days, maybe a week, but it's pretty unusual that that happens. But it, you know, maybe once a summer. But on the whole, overall, very good air quality. That's one reason I'll be visiting in the fall. I keep some air purifiers handy so that when the air does get bad, I can just kind of like lock up all the windows, blast the air purifiers, and just stay inside if I can. Pardon me. And that would be the tricky thing if I ever did move to the interior, is that, yeah, cheaper, yes, beautiful, but wildfires can be, depending on where you live and how remote you are, like a very... like the smoke, but also like the actual wildfires themselves can occasionally threaten human property. And the more remote you are, the farther you are from general firefighting services. Dungeon difficulty, I think. Speaking of cycling, Amsterdam is insane and amazing for it. Catch-up mechanics in place for professions. The main catch-up mechanic is just that every patch they've kind of added some more one-time profession knowledge gets. So there's some in the Emerald Dream, there's some in the Zeralite Caverns, and then there's the original ones in the Dragon Isles. So starting from day 1 now, you would be able to get farther in your profession than you would starting from day 1 at the beginning in Dragonflight. But you're not gonna... you're still gonna be heavily time-gated for, like, getting everything done. I bet new Prime subs count here, too. Cough, hit.
Watch your feet.
Yeah, I believe they do count for the sub goal. Living in NYC, I have not been hit by a car while cycling yet, but been a training ground for car/bike awareness. I bet if I did get brave and I started biking around the city, that I would gain a lot more confidence about it over time. And I know that it's like a thing that, like, my mom does it. My mom's partner does it. They bike everywhere. My mom will, like, load up her, like, linens that she has to launder from working, and on the back of her bike and take them to a place that can get that laundry done. Like, people do all kinds of stuff. You see parents just, like, with bikes that have 2 child seats tacked onto the back that are just taking their kids to school. It is very common for people, not just like athletes, but like everyday normal people, to be like biking for everyday normal errands. They're dropping off their kids, they're getting their groceries, they're going to work. Like, it's very normal. I'm just a giant scaredy cat. I am the dungeon gate lady. Thanks for noticing. I'm flattered. Yeah, I have a substantial amount of anxiety about a lot of things, and that is one of them. I am working on my anxieties, but, you know, we're doing baby steps. I also, now that I have my puppy, if I'm going to go out and go somewhere, I like going places that I can walk, so I can take the doggy so that he gets a walk out of it. Plus, he likes meeting people and seeing friends. And my dog has a lot more friends than I do.
Phase 3, run.
Wow, I'm not doing any damage. What if this is the run? The trick with baby steps is that you have to keep taking them. You can't just do one baby step and then go, I did it, and then stop for the rest of your life. I mean, you can, but then you won't make a whole lot of progress on whatever it is that you're working on with yourself. If you were to get it, would that mean Hearthstone? Oh, for the stream today. Probably not. I feel like I've hit my quota of the amount of Hearthstone Battleground streams people will allow me to get away with with the weekend ones. Sounds like the sick factor is largely faded now. Yep. What do you guys think of the state of the game? I'm happy with it, but I'm always happy with it. I'm also not a very story-focused person, so who's been working on the story is not largely relevant to me. I'm more about, what am I about? Content, raids, dungeons, collecting, little PvP, alts, systems, that kind of thing. Yeah, I do Mythic Plus at the start of the season until I feel like I've achieved my goals. Paralysis. Hearthstone event starts, what is it, March 11th, I want to say. No, I would never try to tell you otherwise. I do find it very strange when we lionize, I don't know, people that work at the places that make these things, because from the outside, we're never going to have a super accurate idea of how a thing came to be, because it's all a team project. Lots of people work on these things. It's just like a very human tendency to want to attribute credit or blame or both to like one face and be like, this person is the reason this thing sucked and this person is the reason it's saved. And it's like a very narrative thing. I think the whole business is wildly overblown, but that is just my opinion. Yeah, I agree. I don't think anybody should be treated as infallible. I think that making people scapegoats or putting them on pedestals is both a losing game. Does not lead to good things in either case. Green Arrow, thank you very much for giving out some gift subs. 5 new gift subs, holy smokes. That puts us only 5 subs away from our goal. There's so many good artists working at Bliss. They've made some beautiful things recently. Didn't even notice the sub goal. It's not a super big bar. It's pretty small. Any expansion in the past that you wish you played live? Nah. I started in Wrath, so I've played every expansion from Wrath onwards live. So the only ones I missed were Vanilla and TBC. And from what I've seen from Classic, it was not... I'm more of a modern WoW player. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to play a bunch of hardcore Classic later today and for the next couple of weeks. But that doesn't mean that I wanted to play them live. I think the things that I find my joy in with that are more about the challenge than it is about the... I don't really do group content in Classic. Yeah. Thought you started much later? Nah, I've been playing since Wrath. Wish we got news on the new patch. I don't like secrets. I am also impatient. Well, actually, that's not true. We've been patient. It's been forever since they've been teasing that. I just want to know what it is so that we can know and then do it and then move on. But I have a feeling I'm going to be still engaged in Self-Found whenever it comes out. I have a feeling that that's going to steal some of my excitement. What's the best expansion? Why was it Legion? Lots of people really liked Legion. I'm happy with WoW right now, but I've also like been happy with WoW. Really liked Legion, only played it after the fact. I'm excited to see what we get next. Forgot that you don't like Legion. I had some good times in Legion. It just wasn't my top pick, but I think that kind of thing is highly subjective. Mop will forever hold a special place in my heart. Mop introduced a lot of things that were very big for me. My biggest regret about Mop is that I didn't have a team at the time. I think I could have gotten a lot more out of it if I'd had a raiding guild or PvP friends at the time to play with. Either or. I didn't have either, so I just leveled a lot of alts. I leveled a lot of alts, I did a lot of pet battles. I made some 2013 era YouTube videos. That was what I did in Mop. I did my Pandaria farm a bunch of times. I think Mop was the expansion that I played through where I was the most disconnected with patch releases. Like, they would come out with, because I wasn't raiding, they would come out with a raid tier. I just wouldn't notice. It wouldn't mean anything to me. I would like discover that like the dominance point or whatever, like the patch where they had the faction camps in the Krasarang Wilds. I like happened upon that content like 6 months after it had come out. Like I just didn't notice when things were new at the time. I think even in Cataclysm I was more on top of patch releases than that. Alright, attempt number 223 and no mount to show for it. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Do I have one more chance? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. I should have one more chance because I should have 17 characters. Operation Shield Wall. Yeah, that one.
One of our supply ships ran aground in the southern tideway. Most of the crew escaped, but they had to leave valuable goods behind.
Many people feel they should be playing WoW perpetually and that taking a break from it indicates that there's a problem. Yeah. I wonder if part of that is just like a shift that's happened over time, whereas, you know, back in the early days of WoW, if you were taking a break from the game, there was this feeling that you would never catch up again. Like you would be behind forever. So stepping away felt like a big commitment. Maybe I did do them all. Or maybe I skipped somebody. Stepping away felt like a big commitment. This is gonna drive me crazy. Who did I skip? So, you know, you would be leaving, you would make a post on Facebook, you would make a post in the forums, you would give all your gold away to all your friends. It was like a big deal. Whereas as time went on and they kind of like patches start coming out faster and more rapidly, catch-up gear becomes more of like a established thing. It became more normal, especially like at the end of a patch, to be like, okay, I'm done raiding for this patch. I'm gonna go play Skyrim or whatever else the game is at the time. And I'll come back, you know, I'll come back for the next patch or the next expansion. Like that was, I think as people kind of realized they could dip in and out and not be totally lost for it, then it became more normal to play very seasonally. Who did I skip? I skipped her. I did her missions and I didn't run her out there. Human priest, that's the one. Don't care to hang out in the game if there's nothing to do anymore. Yeah. I think that's reasonable. I also think that it doesn't necessarily mean that there's anything wrong with the way it is now. It might just be that there was a finite amount of magic to be had from, you know, just roaming the world and exploring it. And that once you've kind of discovered everything, it's normal to feel like there's no more mysteries left for you. You know, maybe it was an experience that you had and now it's done, like that beginning feeling. Borealis. If you were in your 30s, what were you doing during vanilla in BC? Probably wasting your time. Me and the other 7th graders were farming. Yeah, I am in my early 30s. In vanilla and TBC, I was playing Neopets. I was playing Shio online. I was doing my homework. I was going to band practice. Get the impression that people who don't play WoW think that you're super hardcore into WoW if you played it all these days. Yeah, it probably depends on how much you know about it. Any worries over the hero talents? I have kind of this ambient faith that it will work out to a degree that is good enough for me. Especially after they canceled the Oracle tree, because that definitely gave me the heebie-jeebies. Original Oracle tree with premonition was ookie spooky, no good. But they've come to agree with me, so we're okay. Freshman at college at the time, so no. What's Oracle? It is one of the priest hero talent trees coming in the War Within. Like a sub-spec, basically. Well, sub-spec is maybe giving it too much credit. It's just like a selection of extra talents that you can earn. It was one of the options. They have been previewing these hero talent trees, and that one got a lot of pushback for being not fun-looking, and they later recanted it, basically. Warlock onesie, what's the special occasion? I have a cold. Hazel has I'd say the sniffles, but it's more of like the sore throat. So I'm staying extra cozy today. That's about it. Considering maining Holy Priest? Any idea what would be a good alliance race to make my priest? I think that racials are all relatively competitive, and that you can get away with being any of them. I'm sure Wowhead or somebody has some kind of like a page on like what the best ones are, but they could change the stat priorities, sometimes shift between expansions. I always recommend play something that you can see yourself enjoying looking at. Play something that feels cool to you. Play something that you like the way transmog sits on it, or if there's like a specific race that speaks to you. I'm a gnome holy priest main. I've been a human holy priest before. You're always going to find some situation that you're glad to have your racials in, and Yeah, I would just play something that you like the look of. However, if you want like the min-max choice, there is probably somebody with an article out there, but just be advised that that kind of thing tends to change over time. Surprised you didn't just wrap your comforter around you, go full burrito. I actually have an extra comforter I could have used for that. But Priest is great because you can literally be any race in the game except for Evoker. Pardon me, Drakthir. You can be any race in the game except for Drakthir and you can be a Priest. So the world is your oyster. Oh, 5 anonymous gift sub bringing us to our goal? My goodness. It looks like I'm coming back for a bonus stream this afternoon. Not playing Dwarf is a crime. We're doing a hardcore self-found extra special bonus cozy stream. Oh no. That'll be approximately 3 p.m. Pacific-ish. So roughly 3 hours after our normal finish time today. I might try to take a nap in between now and then. And there will be a stream VOD of it as well. But it'll be fun. I wanted to play a little bit on launch. I don't know how far we're going to get. Yeah, okay, no luck. I don't know how far we're going to get because, you know, I bet you the zones are going to be pretty populated, but I think it'll be fun anyway. There are other people on the server in Self-Found, but you cannot trade. You cannot trade anything with other people, and you cannot use the auction house, and you cannot send or receive mail to players. We shall always make time for naps. Yeah, Self-Found will come out later today in a couple hours, 4-ish hours. A little shy of 4 hours. Oscar79, thanks for the 42-month resub. Appreciate it very, very much. Well, thanks for reaching the sub goal, guys. I might make, not a habit, but I might do those marginally more often, like use bonus streams as like a reward for sub goals, maybe for other games too. If there's like enough interest in like a Baldur's Gate stream, we could do a sub goal for that sometime. I think that's a fun idea. Pardon me. Where's the tea? There's the tea. Well, we did all 17 freehold attempts without any luck. How rude. You can play Self-Found if you haven't played hardcore before. You just apprise yourself of the stakes, the conditions, and then have fun. Be careful. I would love to see a Baldur's Gate stream. The question is, would I make a second separate Baldur's Gate thing for... Well, there's no way I would ever stream enough of it to make it worth getting through a whole story on it. Do I do a separate second character and campaign for stream, or do I just play the existing one? Still gonna be guilds and Self-Found. Nothing said you couldn't join a guild. And nothing even said that you couldn't group up. They didn't really say solo Self-Found, they just said Self-Found. I think that Buff is gonna be fine too. Later today, we'll be able to make characters on hardcore classic servers with the Self-Found option enabled. Later today, it'll open up. I'll be doing it live on stream. What time is it? Oh, I forgot to do the big dig, but there's another one in like 12 minutes. Also, let's get this character back home. Oh, Kitty, is the door closed? Hang on a second. I got you. I got you. Unannounced surprise streams at unusual times. You could tap into new audiences, carry back to the main time slot. Maybe. Unannounced secret streams. I will say that my normal schedule is generally about as much streaming as I feel like I have in me, so I would be a bit conservative with how many I decided to commit to. I like showing up for a couple hours and hanging out and having a nice time, and then turning off the stream, taking off my hair, taking off my makeup, sometimes changing into completely different clothes, and then being a different person for the rest of the day. It's nice being able to turn it off for a while, or for a lot of the time. I was gonna check my mail. That's right. I sold some things. Wow, when you look at that. I think I'm up a couple 100K. I think I'd spent myself down to like 180, 200K, and I'm back up to 468, so I must have made some profit at some point. I have been collecting transmog. It just feels like I'm not making any progress. I've seen a couple of streamers play BG3 in a dedicated save file as a communal poll-based thing. It takes forever. People seem to like it. Oh, like some people vote on what you should do? Oh, man. That would take forever. It takes me forever to play normally. Good grief. That would be funny. That would actually be... I could see that being really fun. You would have to keep the polls, like, short. Especially if you're having people vote on, like, every conversation choice. Then that would be a project. Alright, I want to do the dig. Let's make our way home. Not every choice, but the major ones. Oh, okay. Twitch plays Baldur's Gate 3. Add-on for Twitch that presents the voting as a UI element. Oh. Yeah, I'm sure you could just do like a poll overlay. Or does the add-on like populate the poll choices with the choices in your game? Because that would be that would save a lot of time. Hey, let's go play Baldur's Gate. I've started playing Baldur's Gate at my own time. I was toying with the idea of doing like the occasional bonus stream, but I'm not willing to commit to anything yet. We got cell phone coming up. We got enough on our plate. Oh, hey, I have a vault to open. Also, I feel like I should spend some of these tokens of merit to get some gold or something. What's in my vault? I forgot I had a vault. I could take a dream binder just for the transmog of it. Oh, it's gorgeous transmog too. I think I might do that. Yeah, done. Easy. Seems to be pumping out polls too rapidly for the streamer to make them themselves. That makes more sense. That would, because the way I was imagining it was like copying and typing all the options out, and that would be crazy. What are you playing in Baldur's Gate 3? I have a Wood Elf Ranger that I'm playing. I only got it a couple of days ago, so I'm not super deep into it yet. But it's been fun. It's been kind of cool. Head over to the Big Dig. I'm pretty sure need Azerothian Archives. So yeah, there's 3 Archives World quests as well. You know what? Maybe I can... Do I have time to do it? 7 minutes? Maybe. Nah. Maybe. I'm pretty close to getting some achievements, I think, that would require me to do the world quests. There's a way for me to figure out which ones, but I could just do all of them. Lots of fun watching the voice actors play BG3 on stream. Oh, I bet, yeah. This one? Yeah. So I'm sitting on... Oh yeah, that's right. I'm sitting on 12k Mysterious Fragments because I really wanted to buy the 2-handed mace that was the big torch. But I realized too late that I was going to have to send the fragments to another character to do it, and I couldn't be bothered, so I'm still sitting on those. Started a ranger myself, struggling a bit with druid. Ranger seems very powerful and fairly straightforward. The animals that you can summon can really do a lot. Just being arranged in general seems nice because you just basically find yourself a nice place, preferably high up, to post yourself, and then snipe away. Plus, Hunter's Mark makes sense to me because I have Hunter's Mark in WoW. Gloomstalker was my choice of ranger. Very strong in fights. I am muddling my way through combat because I'm very new to the game and I don't have really any D&D experience. So I'm kind of learning everything from scratch. Pardon me. And I am chugging health potions. That is my bonus action a lot of the time. Is like, all right, do a thing, chug a health pot. Do a thing, chug a health pot. It's all right, we'll make more health pots. Too impatient for BG3 combat. Yeah, that's fair. It takes a long time to get through an encounter. And it's interesting and it's fun because you can really survey it and like kind of poke around and be like, okay, how do I want to approach this? Do I want to stealth? Do I want to move my party into positions? Do I want to try and like set up like a trap? You know what? You've got like a million different ways that you can go about doing it. But it's very easy to get yourself in trouble. And it takes a long time. The other thing is I once spent ages being like, okay, this is perfect. I'm going to put my ranger up here. I'm going to put my rogue over here. I'm going to put my wizard over here. And I like set everybody up into the perfect spot before I started the encounter. And then I started the encounter and then my ranger was so far out of range of everybody else that she like wasn't part of the fight and I couldn't use her for the fight. She was just like twiddling her thumbs up on her perch out of range because the fight didn't include her. And I had to do the fight without my main character because she just was too far. I was going to redo it with her closer if I died, but I managed to do it anyway. Hazel, hello! How are you today? Way more interested in the story than the combat. Story mode is still too much combat for me. It's nice that there at least is a story mode. I am trying to make my way through the balance difficulty, which I'm starting to think is like a mistake. And I could turn it down, but I'm sticking with it for the moment. But yeah, I usually mostly want to just kind of like have some food on the couch and just like watch cutscenes and talk to people. Duo playthrough, which is helping. Over here. Okay. Oh no, 99%. One more. There it is. Almost digging time. Yeah. Yeah, I'll head directly to the dig after this. Directly. Nice. And that got me a little bit of rep. A little bit of fragments. I should do that. I should run that Wowhead script again. So if you go to the Wowhead page, what I usually do is I search for Reese, R-E-E-S-E, because that's the pet. And I click on that. And then I click on the battle pet. And then I remember that the achievement is named Just One More Thing. And then I look up Just One More Thing. Also, I should keep an eye out on the Emerald Dream. Cause for concern? No, okay. Never cause for concern. I'm gonna fast travel to skip a little bit of this. And then I go to the Wowhead comments for Just One More Thing. And then there's a macro on the top comment that's been stickied. And you run that and it tells you. So, okay, so there's 3 different areas where if I do one more world quest, I think I get the achievement. Dig in 2 minutes. It is a very good thing that I have 2 minutes. The green bar when you dragonfly? That is my... I should have... It's either just the regular UI or it's my dragon speed indicator weak aura. Let me take a look. 2 types of fights in Baldur Gate 3, where I stand behind a corner. Enemies end themselves in a cloud of sharp objects, where I cast invisibility and pretend there's nothing to fight. I keep forgetting to do the Archivist World quests. Yeah. I haven't been keeping up with them perfectly. Yeah, that's my dragon speed weaker. That's the one. And then the little electric zappy zaps are just showing me that I'm going fast enough to be regenerating vigor. I have leftovers for today for lunch. I actually have a choice of leftovers. I can have one leftovers for lunch and another one for dinner. Lucky lady. Oh, my laundry's done. What? All right. Dig time any moment now. I'm not gonna bother joining a group. I'm just gonna dig. Do you not do the flip up trick for dragon riding? No, not really. It's fine. I find it kind of annoying. I just don't wanna. They're the kind of leftovers that get better with time. The chili for sure. The chili was actually really good despite the fact that I ate it on the same day, so that'll be even better. But I also have leftover biryani that we got from an Indian place, and I think that one will be really yummy too. I'd never had it before, and we were talking about it on stream the other day, and I was like, you know what, I should try it, so I ordered some. Alright, come on now, dig time. Let's go. Up and at 'em. Is it because I'm not wearing my dig uniform? There we go. Having biryani now. Haha. It was really good. Good call. It's like, it's, I don't know how I lived so long without getting it often. I think I used to be very boring with the kind of takeout that I would get. Because Indian food's now one of my favorite things to get. Inspecting stones. Okay. Thank you. I'm so excited for Self-Found today. I don't know what my character's name is gonna be. I'm not in a big hurry. That's one thing about it being Self-Found is like, if I start my character this afternoon and I'm like slow, that's fine because, you know, I'm not really grouping with anybody. Honestly, the zone is probably going to be pretty crowded and annoying early anyways. But we'll just do our best. We'll try not to worry too much about it. If it takes us a while to come up with a character creation that we like, then that'll be what it is. I haven't looked at the Wildstalker Druid talents. The only talents I looked at were the Priest Oracle ones, which are now defunct. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to name the character. I want like a troll kind of name. I think it'll be kind of fun to revisit because you just make a character in a regular hardcore server, so I could go back to my old hardcore server and I could just kind of like, you know, reflect on the characters that I had there before. Like how Indian cuisine has so many options for vegetarians. That's one of my favorite things too. That and the fact that I can eat a ton of food and not feel awful after it. Like it just sits well with me. Speak to Zenate. Okie dokie, you betcha. We'll have to buy some transmog today after we finish this dig.
I feel at home in the outer world.
Don't mind me. I should just put here. Let me put my friendship fox on my bar so I can just use a regular flying mount to get around. The digs definitely do not seem as popular as they once were, but it's nice that you can still kind of do things anyway. Deliver a crate of artifacts. What do you do press to dismount yourself from a dragon riding mount? I press the keybind again. The same keybind that I used to mount up. I will tap that again to get off my mount. I know it's kind of annoying because most of your combat buttons might be overridden by the dragon riding bars. I have my mount keybind. My normal mount keybind is just flicking my mouse wheel to the right. And then I have the same thing with a couple of modifiers to get on different mounts if I need to. Mouse button 5 is what it's called on this mouse.
We must not only study history's primary text.
I wonder what the bag clutter situation is going to be like in the War Within. If Dragonflight has taught me anything, it's that Blizzard is not afraid to make systems that put lots of stuff in your bags. It's been 84 years, but Firalath the Dream Render has finally dropped for me. Congratulations, Elrathir! I'm so happy for you. You are free. You can turn your back on Razageth and walk slowly away into the distance. Hope they'll introduce larger bags for the next expansion. Farming anything special? I did my 17 weekly Freehold runs, and I received no parrot. And now I'm just doing some weekly stuff to Bison Transmog. I'm doing the big dig, and we'll get lots of fragments, and we can go shopping with those. Hazel, how likely are you to attend next year's Glasgow's Willy Wonka's immersive experience? Scale of 1 to 100? We're talking about a 0.03. Never say never, but everybody would be shocked. I love this Willy Wonka mess timeline you're in. Do you want to hear my Willy Wonka mess story? I haven't gone to see the film, although I vaguely want to watch it. Maybe eventually if it hits the streamer. But I bought, because they were on sale and because I was having a fit of childlike nostalgia, I purchased for myself to consume a handful of Kinder Surprise eggs. And if you've never had one of these before, it's a type of like kind of grocery store checkout line chocolate. It's like a hollow chocolate egg that has a little plastic toy inside that you can kind of assemble. And currently they are Willy Wonka movie promotional items. And the first two that I unboxed, there was no assembling. There was no toy. It was just like a little plastic fridge magnet, and my fridge isn't even magnetic, so you know, salt in the wound, with a little sticker, and there was a QR code that I could scan to get a character in some app. And I was furious. I from my childhood, I remembered like 8-piece little puzzles. My third one that I opened had at least a spinning top in it that you kind of snap together, so that redeemed it somewhat. But two of them were just like these really weak fridge magnets that let you scan them to get a character in like some tie-in movie promotional app. And that is not the childhood I remembered. Just buy a new refrigerator. Used to collect little figurines that came in Kinder eggs. The chocolate I still actually kind of enjoyed, although I did feel rather ill afterwards. I think I'm starting to learn my lesson about candy. But the oh, hang on, I forgot I have a job. That's what I get for chasing nostalgia. I have really strong memories of being very excited about Happy Meal toys as a kid. Like as a really small kid, especially when they did like Beanie Baby tie-in promotions. Those things used to be everything to like tiny me. The fact that there's a QR code and an app for small toys meant for children makes me die inside of it. Yeah, I did not download the app to find out if it's any fun. I have a feeling it's just there to promote the movie. I hope it's just there to promote the movie. If the app had additional microtransactions in it, I would be even more upset. But at least I made the top spin a little bit. Kinder Maxi Bar full of hazelnuts. I actually really like those ones, but I also like hazelnuts. Maybe I should stop sorting rocks. We got a minute left. I suppose there's nothing else to do. Can't have nuts allergies. Fair. That is reasonable. You know what's great? Hazelnut bread. Just say it. Oh, I've gotten lost. I think I'm just going to wait by the boss so I don't get too distracted and then not fight the boss. Because I have been there before. Disenchant a couple of things. Oh, no, don't disenchant that. That's a BFA thing. That's not going to give me anything worth getting. 157 gold for vendoring that staff. I'm going to vendor that. I'm probably going to vendor that one as well once it's time. And then the greens I think are vendorable too. Because the dust isn't worth very much.
I've seen things that would scare you shellless.
I've been carrying around this helmet, I guess, supposedly to catalyze for a very long time. I don't think I'm going to catalyze it. Have you ever made banana bread? I am afraid I might be about to make an enemy, but I have made banana bread. I don't really like banana bread. It's just not to my own personal taste. I've made them before. Harry Babes, thank you for the 8-month resub. appreciate it very, very much. Oh man, I love soloing this thing. When there's nobody else around, it scales right down to you, and it's actually fairly easy to just kind of take out. And we're done. Let's do those other 2 world quests to see if I can finish that achievement. That would be kind of nice. There's one in Zerla Caverns, and there's one in the far north of the Forbidden Reach. We're pretty close to the caverns entrance. We'll go do that one first. Hello, Hazel. Hello, Kitty. Hello. X Mitzi, how are you today? Banana bread, too much like banana. I used to really, my mom used to do a decent chocolate zucchini loaf. I've just, sweetbreads in general, and like things that are kind of bread cake hybrids, so like lemon poppy seed loaf and like, you know, zucchini loaf and banana bread and that kind of thing. It's just, I've come to realize it's just not really my wheelhouse, and that's okay. Pumpkin, blueberry, lemon bread. Yeah, all those types of things. I think they're a great thing to have in the universe, and they're just not for me. I want bread to be crusty and savory and chewy and bready. And then if I'm going to have cake, I want it to be like, well, if I'm going to have cake, I'd prefer for it to be pie. But if I'm going to have cake, I want it to be cake. Properly cake. Commit to being cake. Pickles, 919. Thank you for the 33-month resub. Looking for something to inspire to play retail. Lost motivation. Watching it. I adore. Hope you're well. Thank you. Yeah. I think there's nothing wrong with taking a nice break. A cake is a fun opportunity to play dress up on an object with icing. I do think cheesecake's kind of an anomaly. Where is... I'm going here. Ooh, I think actually, Agira's watch. This is, I think, my 3rd time. I think we're in good shape. This might do it. But if you don't classify cheesecake as cake, then what do you classify it as? Just generic dessert? Does it gain a different designation? It's an interesting one. I think that when it is baked, I would qualify it as cake, but I am no authority. I'm just a person that likes cheesecake. I think once you get into no-bake cheesecake territory, now you're kind of looking more like a pudding. Up DS Renown. Dragon Scale. DS. Dragon Scale Expedition? World quests, yeah. World quests, weekly quests. Digging for stuff. Digging for... Or pardon me, opening up the expedition packs and opening up the dirt piles. Once you've kind of caught up on all the world quests. And all of the banners at the top of... don't forget your banners. At the tops of the big mountains. No dungeons with a tabard anymore, no. I should pay a little more attention. One here. Is this one up at the top? It might be. I really hope I can do this quest without needing to go to turn war mode on and off. I think they fixed it. I think it finally has started to behave. This item looks suspicious. Yes, it's you. Don't mind me taking the easy way down. Reminding me I need to order my birthday cake before it's too late, because I'm too lazy to bake this year. What kind of birthday cake do you go for? What do you get if you're ordering and you can have anything that the bakery offers to you? What do you do? There's a local bakery that does like a chocolate cake with like a hazelnut icing. I think they call it like a New York style cake. I don't know where New York comes into it, but it's delicious. There's ganache involved. yesterday for my birthday. Happy late birthday. Partner made a 7-layer chocolate cake with chocolate chips on the outside and then a raspberry strawberry syrup to go with it. My goodness. Okay, well, I did the world quest. I did not get a I did not get a thing. I also managed to completely fail to turn in my big dig quest. Now I'm considering getting cake. Pick up like a nice slice of something nice when you're out. Lemon cake, raspberry jam filling. You guys are making me hungry. I can't even taste anything right now. This isn't fair. Based on who else is going to eat it, probably carrot cake this year. Can I turn in the big dig quest up there? I guess I can. I suppose so. Maybe we should drag it right there. Quite chocolatey. Made an excellent breakfast this morning. Not the most nutritious. Already in PJs for an early night, but cake. Do you have the ingredients on hand? You know what I used to do when I had that exact situation? It was like nighttime, pajamas. Okay, well, maybe not nighttime. I'm like looking at the clock and I'm doing the math. Anyways, it's a day that you don't plan to go out again and you're in your pajamas. And you're like, cake. This is prime mug cake territory. Or ramekin cake if you're some kind of fancy person. Or cereal bowl cake if you're like me. But basically mixing single serving amounts of ingredients. You know, your baking powder and your flour and usually a little bit of like oil or butter and like maybe a little milk or whatever. Chocolate, of course, cocoa powder if you're a chocolate cake kind of person. Into the said cereal bowl and or mug. And then you can microwave them. You could bake them in the oven. I have been there. Fresh, homemade, sometimes like gooey lava cake kind of situation. On demand, single serving. No going out required. Emergency mug cake is wise. Don't keep any sweets of any kind in my home, actually. That's fair. Why does food taste better in mugs? I like the novelty of it. Okay, I have 19,000 fragments. I continue to desire that torch. This one. No, not that one. This one, Spelunking torch. Pardon me. I'm gonna buy 10 of these things. Can I just shift click and buy 10? I can. 10,000. That leaves me 9,000 left over. Which I think we're gonna save up for another like 10,000 piece. Maybe even 12. But we're gonna mail that to Barnacles. And then Barnacles is gonna have to, that is my Hearthstone, there's my mail. Barnacles is gonna have to send mail. Actually go shopping for it. Where'd they go? There they are. Lights your butt on fire when sheathed. Do you agree that soggy desserts are the best? You've really confounded me with your use of the term soggy. I think I do agree with you. I want there to be some kind of a moist, creamy component. You know, think baked apples in like apple pie filling when like the juice becomes like all syrupy and stuff. But the word soggy just evokes pastries that haven't been baked very well. Self-Found is out today. We're gonna do a bonus stream later. Like a poke cake? Treslesh. I do love puddings. I've been meaning to just make like, and probably regret because every time I make something sweet, I'm glad that I ate it, but just like homemade like chocolate puddings. You can do like a cornstarch thickened pudding fairly easily. You maybe add a little citrus, a little chocolate orange kind of situation. A bonus stream, yeah. I think soggy makes me think of something that was not supposed to be wet that has become wet through unfortunate circumstances. Like I could see how you could say that pudding is soggy, but I wouldn't pick that word from the start. Cereal is sat for too long. I'm the kind of person that if I'm having cereal, I need to be the one that like pours it and adds the milk, because I need to pour it, add the milk, and then begin consuming it within like 60 seconds. I do not want them to have commingled. I want that milk and cereal to be brand new to each other. I do not want them to have made friends. Yeah, I can see where you're going with tiramisu, where it's like you've got like cake elements or cookie elements that have been like soaked with like a kind of a delicious liquid. I'll accept that tiramisu is soggy, but I will also say that tiramisu is my favorite. Yeah, we're at the hungry part of the stream. All right. Yeah, because this one also lights his butt on fire. Oh, hang on. He's got to actually use the things. Oh, he's got to... That's right. He has to break them on the ground to get the fragments. Priceless artifact. I do enjoy this. This is very funny. They have to make friends with Captain Crunch if you don't want to tear out the roof of your mouth. I don't think I've ever eaten Captain Crunch in my life. I don't really know what the premise of it is. I'm a Raisin Bran girly. Alright. One spelunking torch, please. And then let's mog it on. Time is the bonus stream. Don't want to mess up my watch week. Oh, I'm sorry. It will be 3 p.m. Pacific time, so 3 hours and 8 minutes from now. Yeah, I find many cereals are pretty sugary, Raisin Bran included. Oh, Kitty, you all done? What am I? I'm on the wrong now. But I am wrapping up this stream. I got leftover Indian food with my name on it. Oh yeah. Hail, traveler. You owe the ferryman a toll. There is a maple Raisin Bran? I love this. I also think it's extremely funny that he sheets it upside down. Yeah, those are real good. I'm happy with that. All right. I'm going to wrap up for today. I'll be back. Not for today. I'm going to wrap up for this morning. I'll be back with a bonus stream. Shout out to our sub gifters and subs. Thanks for hitting that goal. In about 3 hours and 7 minutes or so, we're going to be doing hardcore classic self-found for at least an hour. Praise be to Dayquil. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for coming, and I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day.